Well, that's one way to start. Hello and welcome everyone to tonight's Call of Cthulhu game. We're doing a Call of Cthulhu one-shot tonight, and joined along with me here, we have Billy Bob Sack.
Kapal.
We've got Miss Eve Goldstein, aka a cross-dressing kahuna.
I
Yeah.
had to pull something out of my butthole, and that was the best I could come up with.
And yeah.
We've got Wrangler joining us tonight.
A whole lot of hola.
Hola, hola. And last but not least...
Oh,
we
you
have-
have do you have Spanish blood? Yeah.
No. Last but not least, we have Umbrella Cat joining us tonight. How are you doing, Umbrella Cat?
I'm doing pretty good. Usually I'm stuck in a box and prodded to make art for everyone, but tonight let's play Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah,
I know a small-time artist from Germany.
small-time artist from Germany. Oh yeah.
A young, inspiring indie artist.
His name is Adolf, yeah.
Oh god. That's how we're starting this stream. Oh my lord. Fine, I'll roll.
Future of Germany.
He has a very promising talent. I hope he does well in art school.
Oh my lord. All right. Well,
I heard he's now.
without any further ado, we are playing Call of Cthulhu 7th edition tonight. So I guess we'll go ahead and start. So our game for tonight is taking place in 1933 in the lonesome college town of Arkham, Massachusetts. Each of you all are investigators, well, some more than others, who are taking temporary residence, some permanent, within the actual town limits. But recently, you all have been lured in through an actual contact with a Mr. Alfred Wilkins, who has offered each of you an exorbitant amount of money in order to meet him and hear out his proposition. So pretty much the game is starting out with all of you entering in this kind of like quiet, dingy-looking office space. Well, it's mostly well kept, all things considered. Lighting is decent. The pretty much oil lamps are kind of like keeping the place decently well lit. And behind the desk is just a rather obese sort of kind of like what seems to be just a man with kind of like a slim goatee. Just kind of like more or less just sitting to one side. Kind of like looking at you all with more of an appraising look, I would say.
What a handsome man. I hope he has deep pockets for our Lord, the Saint Jesus Christ.
He looks rather calm in his overall demeanor, and he just kind of like looks to each of you and says, "Well, please take a seat." What are each of you all doing?
I'm smoking a cigarette.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Take a look around the rooms, see what does the room look like, how many chairs are where.
It's actually a pretty extravagant office space, all things considered. What you kind of immediately notice is that there is sort of like a divan lounge along one side of the room, pretty clearly putting together that this is a psychologist you're working with, more of a psychiatrist, I should say.
I do a quick peek to search for any religious objects.
Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and give me a luck roll.
Out of D100? Yeah.
Yeah, so on your character sheet, you'll see where you can click on luck if you've got the edit mode off. Do a luck.
Edit mode is off. Okay, so luck. Click.
Oh, it's a success. All right.
What do you know?
Yeah. Along one, just kind of like taking a quick survey around the room, you can see that kind of like just hung up on the wall there is a symbol of Jesus Christ just hanging from the cross, just more or less kind of like perched overhead. It's more or less out of the way, but at the same time, it's pretty decorative at the same time.
I feel at ease. I ease my 6'2", large-shouldered frame down into a chair seductively.
Seductively. All right, Umbrella.
Well, I sit in one not so seductively.
So one is just being super seductive while she's sitting down, just like trying to be as like alluring as possible. The
Well,
other,
her
not so
large
much.
nose may detract from the whole image, but who knows?
Who knows? It's all for effect, you know.
Yeah.
Umbrella Cat, what is your character doing?
So he walks into the room hesitantly and
Menacingly.
yes, menacing. Taking a good look at everybody who has come in with him. Just wary of them, but not wanting to judge too quickly. He follows what Alfred requested and sits down and beckons Hank to follow him.
Okay. So right as you're kind of like going in and sitting down, the rest of you notice that there is this rather adorable looking basset hound just kind of like following in with this police officer fellow. Just pretty much kind of like looking rather pitiful as it's just slumping its rather kind of like plump form down, just kind of like leaning its head over his shoe.
Adorable canine. In home country would have been eaten by German shepherds, but oh well.
As soon as you say that, Hank the Basset Hound just lifts up his head and looks at you with a rather blank look.
Dex just narrows his eyes.
Last but not least, Billy Bob. What is Mr. Rick Nikita doing?
Snorting from a little vial. Yeah.
Are you okay there?
That's it.
He must be deep in prayer.
The man raises an eyebrow. I see. Well, I brought each of you here for a purpose today. Do you mind if I explain, or do you need a moment or more to, I should say, introduce yourselves to each other? Either case is fine with me.
You may continue, darling, but if this is how you propose, it is very underwhelming.
I am not proposing in that sense.
Oh, is there something stuck in your throat, Mr. Rick Nikita?
No.
Okay, that would be incredibly rude, I think. If you just coughed for no reason.
Just my allergies.
The man
Okay,
just kind of
very
like
good.
clears his throat as he's about to continue.
God, Jesus Christ and Joseph Smith, God bless you. Very good.
I believe in the Baldo. All right.
He
That's what I
says
should be.
very calmly.
Who's Joseph Smith?
Oh, he is a visionary. You wouldn't believe it. Lives straight out of Utah, which is where I live. I live in 9, Utah. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, you were saying?
He was saying, as I was saying, I brought each of you here for a specific purpose. I guess you could say the matter of my proposal is more on the legal side. But seeing as how I, through one way or another, either through financial or a personal connection, I know each of you, I would like to ask a personal favor, with no small reward for you all in turn.
Absolutely.
Fortunately-
If you seek to start a socialist party like that in my own country, here in America, I give you my full support.
How would you say to $1,000 in cash as well?
Perfect. Or marriage, you know.
Obviously.
What's
As
the
I would-
favor?
The favor is this. I have an acquaintance within a nearby estate. He goes by the name of Ward Phillips. He is inhabiting the estate after a Mr. Randolph Carter went missing about 5 years ago. He has been keeping lordship over the manor for quite some time now. Only recently in court, it's been pretty well deemed that he is to be stripped of his duties. I am to be taking lordship over the manor as soon as possible. However, it seems that the man in question is having rather a bit of resistance and releasing his hold over the place. I'm afraid to call the local police, so I would ask that each of you find a way to get him out, as we say. Under strictly legal purposes, of course, but I feel like a friendly hand would do much better than calling the law, wouldn't you say?
If he has broken the Lord's commandments, what else could I do?
What was his name again?
His name is Ward Phillips. I believe he has some local connections in the city of Boston, but he is known here as one of the local mystics. He is a rather peculiar man, and he was a good friend of Randolph Carter.
Would you inform me as to his connections? Does he, God forbid, is he a member of the mob, or is he one of those filthy Methodists?
I'm not quite sure if he's part of the Methodists, but I'm pretty certain he is not part of the mob.
Disappointing.
So why did Randolph Carter, he disappeared or he passed?
We believe that he has passed away, seeing as how he hasn't returned within 5 years, and we haven't heard a single sight nor sound of him since.
Where did he go to? Do you know?
It was somewhere within the woods right outside of the Carter estate. We had the police looking for months, but no sign of him was found. Only a white handkerchief was the only sign that he had even passed through. No blood, no signs of a struggle. He just went missing.
Was he a member of the Mormon Church here in America?
I cannot say.
Then I do not care.
From what little I know, I believe Randolph Carter was an atheistic man.
God rest his burning soul in him.
How large are the woods in his estate?
Quite large. They extend all the way to Mount Elm, which is several square miles of land right around there. The Carter estate it's several miles outside of the borders of Arkham. It is pretty well isolated within the country.
And do you know what he was looking for?
We cannot quite say. We do know enough that he did go missing near a cave around the area called Snake's Den several years ago, but
Snake's Den or Snake's Den?
Snake's Den. It is a local landmark around there.
Wife.
Say it again.
Sounds like a nickname for my wife.
That is a rather inappropriate comment, but I digress.
Was she a snake charmer, Mr. Rick Naketa?
I was forced to marry her ass.
Was that
an arranged marriage? Understandable.
There you are.
I'm willing to guess that this was a rather troubled marriage, if my assumptions are correct.
Well, look at him. It would be a troubled marriage regardless.
Yes, you and your...
Was Randolph Carter married? Excuse me.
To my knowledge, absolutely not. He was single all of his life. He had
Was
no
he
children,
possibly
no
homosexual?
spouse. Not to my knowledge.
Well, he's still burning in hell, so either way.
Forgive me, Mr. Wilkins, but did you say that it was Mr. Carter or Mr. Phillips that disappeared in the Snake's Den?
This was Randolph Carter. Ward Phillips was a good friend of Mr. Carter, and he has been keeping wardship over the manor since.
So what manner of legal trouble do we need to find him in order to get you the estate?
Well, simply put, at the moment he is defying court law. I am seeking a rather amiable solution to get him out of the manor as we speak. If need be, we will use police force, but I'm hoping that it doesn't come to that.
I am German, good sir. I know some very effective methods for dealing with rats.
Just so long as it's within legal limits, I shall permit it and not say a word of it.
And the Lord thy God will guide us.
Indeed.
Is there anything else we should know before we leave?
I would say this. Being well informed about this Randolph Carter, seeing as I only have a fairly limited amount of knowledge around the man myself, perhaps doing a decent bit of research within Arkham might do you some good before visiting the manor. That said, if you want to go and visit Mr. Phillips, that is up to you.
Is there anything about Mr. Phillips that we should be aware of?
From what I remember, the last time I had seen or heard anything from him, it was in person quite a few months ago. The man seemed rather unstable, and whenever the court decision was made, to remove him from the Carter estate, he reacted almost violently. Frankly, I'm afraid to go anywhere near the man as of late. That's partly why I'm entrusting it to each of you.
And so he didn't used to behave like this.
Not necessarily.
Was
Has
he
his
always been a
behavior been
rather-
to be reasonable?
fishy?
He's always been a decently reasonable man, a little strange and mysterious, always leaning a little more towards the occult and the mystical side, but agreeable nonetheless until
So a
fairly
filthy, godless heathen. That's all I need to know. Now, before we leave, I assume you will be covering travel expenses for a woman of high stature such as myself.
He only nods, gives an amiable gesture. He's like, "Why, of course, my lady."
Thank you, good sir. I will meet you in the hallway, and they take the money in my purse. Thank you. I
Wait,
stand up.
Frequency, what does your character look like and stuff? Are you still playing the midget character?
No, quite the opposite actually. He's was he like 6'7" or something like that?
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
Jesus Christ.
So you're like from you broke away from like a freak circus, right?
A man taller than me. How odd.
That's right. I don't think.
Ironically, I'm playing somebody as tall as my brother. My brother's
Did we
6'8".
Did we even come up with a name for your character? That was the one thing I'd forgotten.
It's I wrote it in the thing there, in the thing right there. It's too small for me to read.
Let me
I
check.
can't remember it. Wolfgang Sanders. Wolfgang Sanders.
Wolfgang Sanders.
I
Okay.
can't remember my own character's name. Jeez.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It was something that I just wanted to know before I started referring to each of your all's characters. So for everyone here in the chat, I will go ahead. Well, I don't know. We'll let the role playing commence, so that way we get more of a decent idea of who everybody's characters are. But as for now, what are each of you all doing?
I'm getting up to go to the hallway and receive my monies. Yes.
He's
I'm
like,
gonna start introducing myself to the others. Who's closest to me?
so right next to you, it would probably be the police officer to your left and the man with the sniffles on your right.
All right. So to my left, who I don't know who's got the sniffles. To the police officer. Hi. How you doing?
To begin with, I don't know if my character would be outwardly like showing that he's a police officer in this situation.
Okay.
Like undercover. Yeah.
Yes, more
What's the
undercover.
rest like right now?
Okay.
I
So
should
to
probably ask that.
whoever's on my left. Hi, I'm Wolfgang Sanders. Who are you?
Nice to meet you, Wolfgang. I'm Dexter Reed.
And over to my right, the sniffles guy, whoever that is. Hi.
That is
I'm-
Billy Bob Sack.
I'm Rick Nakata. I have a
Huh.
special adventure. You want to see it? And I pop open the suitcase and you can see the Baldo.
I glance over on my way out. Huh?
The what?
How ordinary.
It's very floppy.
I might have to actually pull up a picture of a Baldo.
Jesus Christ. I'm just going to say, look at the drawing on the right side of the screen. That's what I'm imagining the Baldo looks like.
What's that clip everybody plays of some guy from a TV show going, no, please God, no.
As soon as you're starting to pull out the Baldo, you just see Mr.
No,
Mr.
I'm not
Will-
pulling it out. I'm just
Oh, you're
opening
not?
the suitcase that has it in there, all of them. They're different colors as well.
Even so, Dr. Wilkins across the desk, he's just kind of giving you a bit of a wincing look. He's like, don't start pulling that out.
This is nothing compared to a French brothel.
Sir, do you have a license to sell these legally?
Yes. And then I give her a little tiny sticker that says Baldo Incorporate.
I hope they pay their dues to the church.
Are you a cop?
Turn to the lady. Hi, I'm Wolfgang.
Well, hello. One of the only men in this area taller than me. What is your secret? Good German bread or what?
Umbrella, what'd you say your character's
Luck.
name was?
Lots of luck.
My character is Dexter Reed.
Huh.
Are
How
you,
American.
are you a cop? By chance?
No. I don't know where you got that idea from.
Well, I mean, you're
It's
asking
your
if I have
dog,
a
your
license
general
to sell
demeanor,
something.
the fact that you carry a weapon with such confidence, and you have so much confidence in yourself despite being a short man.
And you have a basket hound.
Not short.
suspicious.
I'm
What
not
the
short
hell is
enough.
a
I thought it was
basket
pretty
hound?
tall.
I've heard basset hound,
A
but not basket.
hound.
What the hell is a basket hound?
Now, Hank,
Well, Lorna, what's your
he's my
character's
very
name?
best friend. Like, I can never go without him.
Well, you look like a man who would need a dog as a companion. Anyway. I go to step out of the room.
Lorna,
she
what's your
just
character's name
or-
again?
What was that?
What's your character's name again?
My name is Eva Goldstein. I'm a 6'2", blonde-haired, blue-eyed, tan-skinned, Jerusalem-born German living here as a Mormon zealot. If you have any questions, refer to the Mormon Bible. Good day.
I'm a
You said-
Baptist.
What's your first name?
Eve.
Eve.
Is it Eve or Ava?
Depends on the accent, darling.
You do that too well.
I know.
It's like
Anyway,
he's born.
I wink at the man in charge and tell him to follow me to give me money in the hallway.
He gives a slight nod, gets up to his feet. You can kind of like hear the slight creaking of the floorboards as he's starting to maneuver along with you. He eventually takes you to a front desk where a clerk, he just kind of like, he explains the situation a little bit, gestures, and she ends up coming up with, I'd say about $200 in cash right there. She ends up handing it over to you. Dr. Wilkins looks at each of you. He's like, that is not just for you. That is for everyone involved. Living expenses for the next week or so.
Don't worry, darling. I come from the church and I am German-born after all. We know how to handle finances. I poke the cash in my purse and look around nervously.
For a 6'2" blonde, she sounds a hell of a lot like Edna Mode.
She kind of does, actually.
No caps. No caps.
No caps.
As I said before, no caps.
My name is Eve, and I will be referred to as such. If you cannot refer to me as that, you may call me Goldstein. Good day. I put my head in with my giant ugly nose, and I say, "Come on, children, we must get going with this investigation, yeah."
It is impossible, darling.
Since you pointed it out, I can't unsee it now.
Matter of fact, someone might get a screenshot of Edna. It's gonna be his profile pic. From this game.
Oh my god. All right. So, just to let you all know, you all can go straight to the Carter estate. There, you also have all of Arkham that you can explore as well. So anything that is related to your all's characters, you can immediately go to. But if you all need a bit of an idea of where else to go, yeah, just ask me, the DM. I can let you know. So for probably the biggest place in town is the Miskatonic University Library, or the Miskatonic University in general. There's also several other stores and buildings in town. And yeah.
Well, children, I am going to the library! And I have the travel money, so if you don't go with me, you will not be reimbursed. Thank you.
Now hold on a second. They gave us money to travel, right?
They gave me money to travel, darling, that I am managing for the best of the group. So if you come with me, you will be reimbursed. If you do not, well, then you'll have to have your basset hound do something inappropriate for money. Moving on.
We could just take my car.
Well, I guess you should have said that, darling. Is it good German engineering or not?
What kind of car is it I have again, Otter? I can't find my character sheet.
Let me
Also, you will have to drive as I cannot, being a woman.
Let me see. I think it's right here. You have a Ford Model T. That's the type of vehicle you have.
Yes, that. That's what I own.
Short, fat little man. I guess it'll work.
Well, yeah, I don't see why she wouldn't find that acceptable, seeing how Ford was kind of. Ford and Germany kind of got along more than people realize.
Yes,
but
at
she wants
least initially.
Volkswagen.
I would have preferred something imported, but it will do the trick. You
I
will
just
drive.
realized something.
I will pay for the gas.
I may be giving away brief spoilers. Billy Bob, could you share your screen instead, or one of you all? That way I'm not accidentally giving something away.
Yeah, I can, darling. Hold on.
All right, perfect.
How do you pull up your character information?
You go to
So-
the third page on the right, you click your name, and then it should bring it up, and you can open and close it.
Yeah, that.
Third page.
Just the one that has a little book. You click on that one.
Ah,
It
the
says
journal.
See,
see.
it's under behind the streamer thing, but like there's the chat, there's this, and then there's this. Pull
then
this up,
once-
you can click your name,
Yeah,
and
once
then
you have
double
it
click
clicked
on
and
it,
opened up,
and it'll disappear or appear according to your will.
Oh, thank you.
right. Makes it
Yeah,
easier.
I think each of you all have pretty much normal living expenses, so each of you all have a vehicle you can use.
Yeah, darling, but you know I don't drive for very important reasons.
Of
So
course.
I will be traveling with the ugly short American.
The car is a lifestyle choice.
Yes, but as a woman I cannot drive, therefore I will take a ride with him and pay for the gas. Thank you.
Very
you.
well.
I'm driving to the bar.
Okay.
You pathetic French connoisseur. Good luck.
There are several bars in town, so it's I would say first off we'll go ahead and we'll follow Eve. And who else is going to the library? Is anybody else going anywhere?
I'll go to the library.
Okay.
Wolfton, whatever your name is, named vaguely after a dog. You are coming with us to the library.
Yeah, library's kind of my thing.
Well, you can at least reach the top shelf when I cannot. Come along.
I go in separately in my car.
Dexter, what about you?
So they're heading to the library, and what's the other location?
So Rick Nikita is heading to the bar.
Ah, okay. I think I will go to the bar just to make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble.
Fine, I will go with Wolfgang von Colt, whatever his name is.
Very
I
well.
slide my broad-shouldered 6'2" frame into his car. I guess I'm paying for your gas, darling. Let's go.
All right. Well, first off, I guess we're gonna go ahead and cut to you all with the library, then we'll go to the bar. So it takes you all probably about 10, 15, 20 minutes to actually drive from where you are at at Wilkins' office all the way to the Miskatonic University Library. So you're on a pretty large campus, all things considered. There's quite a few students kind of like bustling around in the place, carrying books. A lot of them seem to be in a bit of a hurry, likely midterms or whatever. Just kind of like conducting studies. But it isn't long before you finally get to the main library, where you know that there's quite a few books, or at the very least what you've heard. And inside there are shelves upon shelves, several stories just in general. And yeah, there's no shortage of places to look.
Look at all these responsible young people learning and thinking for themselves. Disgusting. They should be following the state. But alas, there's plenty of research material. Are you good at looking for materials in books, Mr. Wolfgang?
Yeah.
Well, I am too. We shall look separately. What should we research? Shall we look for books regarding the property or the history? Or perhaps the family?
I'm interested in the history.
Okay, then you look into the history of the property, I will look into the history of the family. Ready? Break.
All right. I want both of you all to give me a library use check.
I'm very good with the library, yeah.
Very good.
Library, where the fuck? Okay. Let's Spells, no. Not spells, what the hell? Expert combat skills, there we go. Library. There we go.
Ooh, good success.
How do I make the roll again?
So you gotta have your edit toggle off and just click on library use. That's how.
Yeah, it's in your skills.
Ooh, that's a failure. All right.
Well, so what did I find, DM?
So you were saying that you were looking for the history or the family?
The history of the family, yes. He was looking for the history of the property we were researching.
Okay, I see. All right. So you end up kind of like asking around a little bit. It takes you. Roll me a d4.
A d4, 1 second.
All right. It only takes you an hour of research and asking around before you're finally able to pull out a book that gives a bit of research not into Randolph Carter himself, but what seems to be an ancestor of his. Because as soon as you mention the name Randolph Carter, the librarian in the office, who actually doesn't look too dissimilar from yourself, kind of gives a bit of a sneer. She's like, "Oh, you're looking for history for Randolph Carter, I see. Well, I can point you along to a bit of historical research on Edmund Carter." You can see there's just a bit of a mean look in her eyes as she pulls out the book and hands it to you. You end up flipping to a page, and this is what you find. You can also click that, and it'll.
There we go. Looking deep.
That way, you're not squinting the entire time.
Yes. Should I read it out loud or no?
It's up to you.
However, more than a few accounts exist of the Salem townsfolk being quite uproarious. Whatever maybe caused such unrest, one can only speculate, must have been rather elusive and damning. Before the execution could have been dealt, however, Mr. Carter had already fled the boundaries of Old Salem, arriving in Arkham, Massachusetts, as an unrecognized fugitive. Over time, the young man would eventually establish a family, building an estate and a reputation as an upstanding citizen within the lofty shadow of Mount Elm. Terrible name, terrible name. As for the accounts of witchcraft, little else is mentioned in the recorded history. All that is left are claims that Mr. Carter, now in his twilight years, as an esteemed patriarch and scholar, well, at least he's educated, spoke with the good Fowler in her isolated hut, not far distant from the Carter estate. The veracity of such claims have remained inconclusive, and perhaps mankind as a whole will never know the true story of what happened in the 1692. Forgive me, darling. Okay, very, very well. I would like to convey this information to Mr. Wolfgang. Wolfgang, what did you find, or did you get stuck in the smudge section of the library again?
Neither.
Oh no.
Nothing of note that I could dig up.
Yeah, unfortunately, after the hour of searching, you weren't able to find much of anything.
That is rather disappointing, but you are a man after all. Anyway, I've discovered that there is a hut close to the property in question, and that perhaps there may be some people with information there. We should perhaps investigate, or would you like to stay at the library longer?
No, that sounds far more interesting.
Okay, lead me out to the library, tall man, and drive. Chop chop, come on.
You can say please, you know.
Please, tall, pathetic man who couldn't find information, lead your way out to the library and drive me to the place. Very good.
Are you all going to
You are
the?
this close to walking.
Are you all going to the Carter estate, or where are you all going?
No, the hut described in the history where there was an unknown figure. I'm curious about that property.
Okay.
It may hold answers towards our investigation.
I would really like to find out why this Mr. Phillips is refusing to leave.
The problem is you don't immediately know where this hut is.
Well, perhaps we could talk with the local police and find out. Or is there a local expert?
You can ask around. Who do you want to ask?
Would I know somebody of that of that type because of the stuff I do?
Give me an intelligence roll to see if you know.
Oh, we are doomed.
Since I can't seem to find the right damn page, you just might be. All right.
Yeah, you're just going to be clicking on intelligence.
He lost all of his God gave all of his intelligence stat to his height.
Ooh,
Oh,
an
there we go.
extreme
Not
success.
bad.
Not bad at all. All right. So,
Extreme success.
so Wolfgang, you are actually a local in the Arkham area. You have heard about of the witch Goody Fowler in the past. So you know enough about Goody Fowler to know that at this point, it's kind of a story. It's almost a bedtime story in a lot of ways, almost kind of like as a way to scare kids into basically behaving, or Goody Fowler will come and get them. The thing is, this is an ancient story dating all the way back several centuries. The hut itself, to your knowledge, is actually, it's not fully known where the hut is. You know it's somewhere within the wooded area around there. Even then, there is no solid account of where exactly it's located.
And wooded area mean how large of an area?
The pretty much the forest around the Mount Elm region, that whole area.
So pretty much Carter's backyard.
Yes, his very expansive backyard.
Well,
Is it perhaps there is an expert who has explored these woods? Yeah. Should we ask around?
We should not go into the woods without someone who is familiar. Those are big woods.
But you are such a tall man, and I'm surely faster than you.
You walk in the woods around here, you can get very turned around if you're not familiar.
Okay, I will trust your judgment.
We need to find someone. You need to find someone who's knows their way around the woods.
Okay, I will ask the librarian. In America, they are mostly useless, but you never know. I search out the librarian.
Anybody on our team who's got any woodland skills?
You end up finding the librarian. She's like, "Yes, what is it?"
You seem like a woman of intelligence. Is there someone who is an expert on the local foliage and the forest surrounding this Mount Elm?
Let me think for a moment. I believe that...
Please don't hurt yourself, darling.
Go ahead and give me a luck roll.
Let's remember if luck is good or not. Let's see. Shit.
Ooh. She ends up thinking for several minutes. She's like, "I'm sorry, I can't think of anyone that comes to mind. Perhaps someone else might know about it. I'm afraid that, as far as I can tell, there's nobody in town. It's been years since anyone scouted out those woods. And even then, there's a lot of, well, frankly, pretty superstitious rumors circling around it. As much as I hate to think of such, well, primitive thoughts, the place gives me the creeps myself, so...
Oh, Vel, don't hurt yourself trying to come up with that answer, darling. Wolfgang, we should go to the bar. They always know good things about local rumors. What do you think?
That sounds like that's the best thing I've heard come out of your mouth so far. Let's go.
Ah, finally a compliment.
All right. So we'll go ahead and cut to the bar. So we'll say Dexter and Rick, both of you all end up finding a place called the Walton Bar. You end up walking inside, and immediately it's actually a decently well kept up bar. It's not too dingy. At the same time, it's not to the level of upkeep of where you were just in Wilkins' office. So there's a decent amount of kind of like, I'd say, rustic figures. A lot of kind of like people anywhere between their 20s all the way up to their late 60s, just kind of like casually starting up a conversation, drinking quietly. It depends. What are you all doing?
All right, I'm going to the bar stool. Pour me a El Presidente.
The man looks up. He's like, "Whatever you say, boss. Whatever you say." And
then I slip a 5 to him. And then, what was the name of that one dude? Who we got hired by?
Alfred.
Just one name I didn't write down.
Alfred Wilkins, Dr. Alfred Wilkins.
What was the other?
How
dude's name?
much in there? Chicken, not stud.
Shaken, not stirred. Are you talking about Carter?
Yeah, is it Alfred Wilkins and Carter?
Randolph Carter. Randolph Carter is the man who went missing.
Yeah.
Ward Phillips is the one who's pretty much keeping Ward over his manor at the moment.
What was the Mr. Phillips, Lord?
Ward Phillips. W-A-R-D.
Hold up, I need to write this down.
I got it.
You said something Carter, right?
Randolph Carter.
Andrew Wilkins?
Alfred Wilkins.
Randolph is the one who hired us, right?
No, it was Wilkins who hired you.
Dr. Wilkins.
I'm just gonna put
Raven
other
in the comments is saying there's a library skill. Yes, and it's one of the best skills in the game, strangely enough.
So what can you tell me about Alfred Wilkin and Randolph Carter? What's the history?
He just kind of he stares off into space for what seems a moment. He's like, "You talking about Randolph Carter, the man who went missing so many years ago? I believe it was 5, 6, 7, something like that."
Yeah, what's the history between those two men?
Oh, well, Mr. Carter and Mr. Phillips, what I know, they go back a long ways. They both have a bit of a history in the occult, you see. Dangerous stuff. Satanic rituals and the such. What I know, they kept talking about weird lucid dreams and some such. Real strange like.
Is he black?
Actually, no, I'm just trying to voice someone who's old, but we can say he's black if you want.
Oh, thank God. I'm kidding.
Thank God we ain't got the German here.
She's on her way, darling.
I'm just trying to do I'm trying to do like a deep gravelly voice here.
Billy Bob and Billy, he's black.
And he went missing 6 or 7 years ago?
I believe so, yeah. Nobody's seen...
What was in the newspaper? What was the official report?
What was in the news report?
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have a copy of it around here somewhere. Here you go. See what you think of it. He ends up handing you what seems to be an old news article. And this is what you see.
Do you want to read it to Billy Bob?
I want to read it, bitch.
Do you want to read it out loud, or do you want someone else to?
Yeah, but read it in a normal voice.
Okay. Wait, hold on. I gotta fix my voice.
Disappearance of Carter family heir. Reports are still hazy following the mysterious disappearance of Randolph Carter, whose family holds a negative connotation within Arkham. Local police chief Theodore Allen, in a brief interview, had this much to say on the matter. I can only assume that Randolph was taken away by a pack of wolves or some such. So far, there's been no good evidence to suggest anything relating to homicide or of the sort. I'm afraid the only time will tell before we unearth the truth. Despite these claims, rumors continue to circulate about odd disappearances surrounding the flora in the Mount Elm region, with several eyewitnesses' reports stating that a number of trees were overturned, disturbed in a manner that can only be described as odd. Rest assured, however, the Arkham Gazette is on the case. Now, back to our program.
Well, I'm gonna ask
Kahuna, I gotta say something here. I remember when you first started reading books on your stream, you were very monotone. Holy shit, you have come so far.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So I'm gonna ask exactly where in the mountain. Does he know? Never
where?
Exactly where it went missing and where this disturbance was.
So that's what you're asking him? He ends up replying, I only know so much about the area. I know that the Carter estate is It's quite a few miles southeast of Arkham. What I do know about the place is that there's always been a bit of superstition about the local woods. They say there's always been rumors about strange people-looking things walking around, and I say I've walked around there during the night myself, and I'll tell you something. It's always been a little spooky whenever I'm walking out there. Gives me the
Does he have no
gives me the
distant
chills.
family that
What
lives
is
in
it?
town? Does he have no distant family that lives in town?
Not to my knowledge. Randolph Carter only has distant cousins, from what I can recollect. Distant cousins and those who are looking to take ownership over his mansion.
About Alfred Wilkin, what type of person is he known around town?
Alfred Wilkins.
Also, has he made my drink yet?
Yes, he's made your drink. He ends up
Alright.
handing it off to you as he's kind of like talking. It's like,
I
well,
drink
Alfred Wilkins, he seems to be a rather new face in town. Rather honest as far as psychologists go, but he seems to be an honest enough sort. As far as those vying for the Carter estate, he was much better than the last man that came along. Real nasty sort of accountant, from what I remember. Odd thing was that it seems the man died under mysterious circumstances only a year ago. Seemed like something, from what reports say, his heart simply stopped.
What's the name?
I don't know
of the
much
man's
more
name?
than that. Asking
the
what the
man's
name
name?
is?
What is our police man doing during all this?
I imagine that Dex would have followed along and took a seat next to Rick, just listening quietly, because this is the bartender who is talking to us, correct?
Yes, this is the bartender talking.
And this Mr. Carter, is he assumed dead?
Largely
he-
so. There's been no sight of him ever since. In the 5 years that he's gone missing, not a peep, not a sight nor a sound.
Did he leave no will?
Unfortunately, no. It seems that nothing of the sort was left. He's the last heir of his family, and the only successors that we've deemed viable has been in the court of law. Only distant cousins have even tried to lay claim.
Thank you.
Also, Otter, let us know when we arrive, because we are on our way. I don't want to.
What's the name of that
there.
dude?
Let's see. Looking at my notes here. It is Aspinwall. That was his name. Aspinwall.
The police chief?
This was the man who died under mysterious circumstances. Distant cousin of Carter's, who was also trying to lay claim.
Said his name was Wall?
Aspinwall.
Aspinwall.
Otter, what fucking name did you pull that out of your ass from?
I actually didn't. That isn't a name I pulled out of my ass. That's me looking my notes from where I was reading a few of the stories.
And he disappeared looking for Carter, is that correct?
A year
Yes.
A year ago. Okay.
It was a whole legal case about a year ago, and then all of a sudden it goes silent. Two of
ago.
them
Who was
go
he in
missing.
a legal battle with?
He was in a legal battle with Mr. Phillips himself, along with a few other mystics. Two of
who's
them went
Phillips?
missing. One of them was Mr. Aspinwall himself. Died of heart failure, it seems. Spontaneous. The other,
Wait,
we haven't...
Philip.
Say it again.
Who's Philip?
Ward Phillips.
Who's Ward Phillips?
He's the one who's...
He's the one who's in the house now.
He is the current caretaker who will not leave.
Yes.
Say Ward Phillips?
Ward Phillips, that's his name.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Caretaker.
Sorry, did you say that Wall disappeared a year ago, or that he was the one that dropped dead?
Aspinwall,
was dead a year ago. Ward
Another
is the one who's the caretaker.
this was another face, one of the mystic friends. I believe his name was he was an Eastern Asian fellow, Indian, I believe. His name was Chandraputra. I believe that.
fuck?
I kid you not, I did not come up with these names.
Say that again.
Chandra Putra.
Chandraputa. Very good. Very, very good.
Putra?
Yes. I am
Jesus
kidding.
fuck-
I'm not kidding. These are not
Wait.
names I came up with.
What was his
H.P.
position?
Wrote these names.
What was his position?
He was a mystic, from what I could tell, or at least that's what I read about in the papers.
Is he dead?
We don't know. We haven't. This was a case that happened outside of town. I only caught distant wind of it. I believe it happened all
Where
the way
does he
down in
usually
New Orleans. Say it again.
Where was he reported to used to stay? Resident.
Mr. Phillips or this Chandra Putra fellow?
Chandra Putra.
We have no clue. He came from the east. There was very little known about him.
He didn't offer his mysticism practice to people and they went to a certain location.
As far as we know, he was a close friend of Randolph Carter that came to help with the legal case. Outside of that, nobody knows anything about him. Really strange.
How long has he been here?
Chandra Putra, he was only there for one case, and then he was missing. You know, I would feel bad if this was a name I came up. I'd feel bad if this was a name I came up with, but it's not. It's actually not.
I think it makes it funnier.
It does.
So Chandra Putra, Randolph, both missing, and Aspen Wall dead.
From what I know, yes.
What was the reputation of Ward Phillips?
Ward Phillips, from what I know, he always seemed to be a kind mystic. Pretty sound
he's a
head on
mystic
his shoulder.
as well?
Yes. They were
Thought
all
he was a
mystics, most of them. Most of Randolph's friends were mystics, to one degree or another.
Abracadabra.
And before
But as-
Randolph left, he was putting his. You say he doesn't have a will, so how is Ward Phillips the caretaker over the house?
It's more or less something that it's honestly, well, there's the pickle, you see. Technically, he doesn't hold any real ownership over it. It's just the courts have been in binds over years trying to figure out a proper heir. Distant cousins, and then the whole Aspinwall incident. Things have gone a little quiet as the legal system has tried to figure out what to do.
But
Seems like
Alfred Wilkin is not related to any of this family.
Well, that's the thing. I believe Alfred Wilkins is one of Carter's distant cousins. Probably the next in line, you could say.
Okay. You got any questions, Dexter?
I still forget. Who was it that dropped dead of a heart attack, supposedly?
That was
Aspen
Aspinwall.
Wall.
Oh, that was him. Okay. I thought somebody disappeared a year ago. Who was that?
Sandra
That was
Putra. And yeah.
Oh, that was Chandra Putra that disappeared.
Chandraputa.
Ah, okay.
Very good.
No, I think that answers all of my questions. Thank you, sir.
not a problem. Do you need a drink? I've got plenty of drinks here behind the bar.
No thanks. Prefer not to drink in the day hours.
Suit yourself. Pretty good bit of advice. If you need anything later on in the later hours of the day, come dusk, just let me know.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna start leaving. I'm gonna go.
All right, it's right around the time that you all are beginning to get up that both Eve and Wolfgang end up entering the bar.
I just walk past them and still go out to my car.
That is a foul man. If only Wolfgang, if you had driven a little faster, perhaps we would have gotten here before he was inebriated.
Are you going to be this condescending and combative the entire...
I'm not being condescending. I'm simply pointing out facts. Now duck your head so you don't hit it, you oof. Anyway, Let's talk to the short, fat American with the canine companion. Hello, darling. What have you guys found out?
No caps, no caps.
No caps.
He keeps calling me short. Am I that short? My
You are,
size
are
is
you 6'2" or taller? Then yes, you are shorter than me.
size is 85. What is that?
So you're pretty tall, actually. Tall, and you've got a physique.
Okay,
Yeah.
Phil, I'm going to pretend that he is shorter than me by just a little bit and call him the short, fat American. Very good.
This is what I'm talking about being condescending and combative.
I am not combative. I am simply a truth teller, as the Lord commands.
But we need to work on your people skills.
I am very good with people. I'm good at finding them.
Dexter just gives you like the biggest smile.
Ah, that's a good little American. Taps you on top of your head. Now, what did you guys find out? We found out that there is something fishy. We're looking at. There's supposedly a hut in the forest surrounding the property of Mount Elm, but we need more information in order to find it. What did you guys find out?
So apparently, Mr. Phillips had been in a legal battle over the property with a Aspen Wall. Who was
And who is this
also,
Aspenval?
He apparently was a mystic who was very much wasn't he friends with
Carter's cousin.
So what?
That was Carter's cousin.
Oh, Carter's cousin and a mystic. He's probably burning in hell too.
But apparently he dropped dead.
That's right. I did hear about that.
Yeah.
My character is a local, so
Yeah, supposed heart attack, apparently.
Are there many? I look over at
about a year ago.
I look over at Wolfgang. Do you guys keep track of filthy foreigners with mystic arts coming into town, or is that just an ordinary thing?
I don't know what ordinary is anymore.
Are there many mystics in town? Do you know of a resource we could utilize in order to find out? We could always go to the police station.
Would my character know about that?
About what?
Mystics in town.
Any mystics in town other than...
Give me an intelligence roll to see if you would know.
Oh, we are doomed.
He actually has decent intelligence.
I know, I just like to say it.
I can have all the best stats in the world. It doesn't stop the shitty rolls from happening.
This is true, this is true.
This is true. Alright, so you would know, actually.
He does have intelligence, as it turns out.
So this is something where it wouldn't be immediately apparent, but you do know of a person in town. Her name is Mary Atwood, who you know enough where she has a bit of a reputation in town for kind of like casually dabbling in mysticism. That's kind of what you would know about her.
It was the crazy crystal lady.
Yes.
Do you know where she lives, Wolfgang?
Do I know where she is? Do I actually know her? Have she and I met? Have we spoken in the past?
So you probably I would say you have.
Considering the line of work I'm in.
In your line of work, you most likely have. I would say you've likely written an article or two on her in the past, just kind of like more or less kind of like tapping into kind of like getting more readership into kind of like stirring a bit of discussion on kind of like the more supernatural side of Arkham. So Mary Atwood's kind of been a local figure for that.
All right.
Fascinating.
How do the phones work around this time period? Do they have the what are they? Go pick them up off the wall and crank the handle or something?
More or less. The actual phones. This is like 1933. Very primitive. But it's pretty much just you've got an actual earpiece you're putting into.
Hello, operator.
Yeah, hello, operator. Can you dial me into this person?
Are there public phones yet in this area or no?
Yes. This is a decently well-populated area. This is a college town after all, so I'd say yes.
I'm gonna go give her a call.
Okay.
Okay, Wolfgang, you go. I'll talk to our short, fat American friend. I turned towards the American.
People skills, remember?
Yes, my not tall, vertically challenged American food enjoyer. How are you doing?
Well,
I'm gonna go make
you're
a phone
getting a
call.
little better.
Thank you, darling. What happened to our French sex toy connoisseur?
Where is Rick?
Yeah, where is Rick Nikita at the moment, Billy?
In his car. About to.
Or you
Leave him
just
be,
actually
darling. He
turning
may
the
be
ignition?
enjoying his he may be sampling his own goods, so to say.
Go into the public records area.
Oh, you're going to public records? All right.
Mhm.
So you're heading off to the record store. Are you waiting for anybody, or are you just going?
Nope, just gone.
All right, you're going. All right.
There he goes in his American car.
There he
Anyway,
goes.
Well, he was here just a minute ago. It's
Yeah,
untelling
he's-
where he went now.
he's probably enjoying his enjoying his own stock, so to say.
It seems like he's very much the indulgent type.
Nothing wrong with indulgence, darling, but not when you're on the job. And not as a good Christian woman.
We actually agree on something.
As disappointing as that is to me, I'll allow it.
Dex just like smiles, but it quivers a little bit.
Buck up, young man. Buck up.
Okay, we actually did learn more that there was a
Jesus
Ton-
Christ, Dexter must be a lightweight. You think like drinking one martini? Oh no! It's
By
gonna
the
fuck
way,
you up.
oh Dexter didn't drink
Dexter,
anything.
is Dexter a local cop?
Yes, yeah, he's a local cop.
Well,
Do Dexter-
right now Umbrella's hiding that his
Wolfgang and
cop.
Dexter know each other.
Say what?
Would Wolfgang and Dexter actually know each other then?
Oh,
We're
he
both
may have
local.
seen him like in passing, but maybe they don't know each other. Like,
Personally.
yeah,
Or,
I would-
even by reputation. Gossip
Wolfgang,
reporters do talk.
Wolfgang, give me a luck roll to see if you've seen Dexter in the past as a cop. Because I doubt Dexter would know you, but you would probably know Dexter just from your line of work.
yeah,
Also, can I do some sort of roll to see if I could just perceive that Dexter is a cop without actually having prior knowledge of that?
Huh.
Give me a psychology roll.
Okay. That should be pretty good.
I failed my luck roll.
Yeah, so even in your line of work as a journalist, you've never come across Dexter before, so you have no idea about Dexter at the moment.
So
Okay.
Dexter has like no notoriety. Dexter
Damn it.
just sucks.
Nobody knows him.
Dexter has remained pretty inconspicuous.
well,
Be
Dexter
careful
is
around cops named Dexter. You don't want to end up on his table.
Right. And so Eve, you're kind of like trying to study Dexter a little bit. At the same time, it's like you're not really sure who Dexter truly is, but you get the feeling that he might be hiding something. You're just not sure how
Wait,
or
how
what.
old is Dexter, Umbrella?
he's 22.
Well, in that photo, he looks like 60. Well, Dexter,
Yeah,
he's like shit.
Yeah, that's the best photo I could get. But yeah, he's actually really young, and he's actually only been in like the police force for a short amount of time, so he's still a noob.
I think I'm pretty young too. I don't know if he ever settled on an exact age though.
Oh,
So Dexter, what do you do for fun around here? Is there dancing with which to take the ladies? Do you guys have meetings for social reform to be more like that of my home country?
I spend a lot of time working out.
How disappointing that you look like that even after all that work.
Jeez. Jeez.
It's so
I
mean.
love Eve. Eve is so good.
Yeah, Dexter just smiles. Thoughtful
Ah.
pain.
And then I look over. I do a long sigh. How ordinary. Anyway, We should do some more investigating. I take a quick look around the bar. Do I notice anyone or see anyone who looks to be intelligent or at least well educated?
It really seemed that the bartender is kind of like pacing back and forth. He really seems to be the main figure in here that's quote unquote in the know. Everybody else seems to just be casually minding their own business.
Miss Eve, I did want to say,
Yeah.
you keep remarking on what is ordinary. Here's an unordinary name for you. Chandraputra.
Ah, a filthy heathen, yes. That's an unusual name. Where did you hear it?
Yes, we were just asking the bartender, and he said that he was another mystic who disappeared looking for Carter about a year ago. And
If he died, he is surely burning in hell, but maybe there is more information. I was warned by Joseph Smith
I
about
swear
such
to God, I want to see
heathens.
Eve get ripped apart.
I walk up to the bartender. Have you seen anything unusual around here? As I turn my big-nosed, 6'2", large-framed, blonde woman's gaze upon him.
Let me ask this: what is Eve's appearance stat? How attractive is Eve?
Oh, we discussed this, but let me see.
40. So that's
yeah,
a little...
like a very beautiful woman, but with a giant honker of a nose on there. That's the main
right.
drawback.
So how I sort of imagine Eve, it's that she's actually quite pretty. She's got the right figure and the right kind of like hair
large childbearing hips for a good Christian man.
I also imagine her being a little gaunt and then just having this giant honker of a nose being kind of like the most glaring thing.
Oh wait, maybe the bartender doesn't notice until I turn my head back towards him.
The bartender eventually looks in your direction.
It's the
like,
Belgium beak.
He's like, well, how do you do, madam?
I turn my head.
What can I get for you?
So
I was wondering about a small Indian man described as Chandraputa. He sounds like a bit of a mystic piece of hell trash anyway, but I'm wondering if you have any more information on him.
He seems to wince for a second. You're not necessarily sure if it's over your comment or your looks. Either way, it takes him a second to respond. He's like,
"Oh, I'm sorry. I should have warned you before bringing up such a filthy heathen. I'm sure that's what set you off."
He eventually says, well, I can't really say I know too much about this Chandraputra fellow. As I told a couple of your friends over there, not much is really known about him.
We are not friends. They are simply underlings.
I see. Well, regardless, I know next to nothing about the man. Even the papers seem to be rather vague about the fellow. All we have is accounts from eyewitnesses, which just so happens to be that of Ward Phillips and other mystics who were on the job.
Do you allow such men to patronize your bar? I bite my lip.
It's like, you can see he just sort of like winces for a second. He's like, I assume it depends on the circumstances. What exactly do you mean, madam?
Do you allow them to come in and to drink at your bar, or do you see them at church? Are you a church-going man?
I would say I am, madam. As for the people who are coming in here to my bar and getting a drink, well, I tend not to discriminate, if that's what you're implying.
Well, maybe you should discriminate a little bit. We don't want to mix filth blood with good blood. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what does the bartender look
Give
like?
Give me a hard persuasion check there.
Let me see.
Make sure you put it on hard. Roll.
I don't know how to do that.
So
at the
up at the top of your character sheet.
Hard. Okay.
Yeah.
Hard persuade. Shit.
Yeah, it's a failure. He's like, well, perhaps I should.
Kahuna couldn't get hard.
I guess I should start with you by asking you to leave.
But what is wrong with me? I'm simply asking questions about this lovely, ugly little town.
He just pulls out a Star of David.
It's like, well, frankly, madam, you're not being too kind in my establishment. Now, I can politely ask
Fucking
you to leave.
disgusting! Whip my hair. and sultryly walk out. You had so much potential.
Wait, when
Come,
you whip your hair,
come,
go
American
over your
man.
nose,
Dexter and
or did it get
Wolfgang,
caught on
those of
your
you who are
nose?
still there, you just hear him sigh audibly as she's walking out.
Hold up. Christian, when you whipped your hair, did it catch on like the nose?
Yes, of course. It's a large object.
It's a shame she has such a sour personality.
I'm
Come,
afraid
short
I
American.
agree
We
with
have so
that.
much to do. We must catch up with Wolfgang and see if he has found out any information about our target.
Okay, Dexter and Hank follow.
Hey, how did that phone call go that I tried to make?
So you're dialing in to get in touch with Mary Atwood.
Yeah.
All right. It ends up taking about 50 cents. You don't need to mark it on your character sheet or anything. You end up dialing in the operator, and it isn't too long before you're able to get a signal on the other side. You end up hearing, "Yes, this is the Mary Atwood residence. Who is speaking?"
This is Wolfgang Sanders. How have you been?
"Oh, Mr. Wolfgang, I see it's been some time. What is it you are looking for?"
Oh, I'm working on something right now that involves mystical knowledge. I was hoping you could help out. I was working with a group of folks. I was wondering if we could come by and pick your brain, so to speak.
"Why, certainly. You may come along over as soon as you can. It's always a pleasure, Mr. Wolfgang."
Thank you. Appreciate it. See you soon.
As he hangs up, I'm walking up with Dexter. Dexter, do not let me flirt with filth ever again, please. Anyway, how did the call go?
Well, we can all go down and see her.
Oh, congratulations. She isn't, Jewish, is she? Just checking.
I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm sure you will find out. You can smell that kind of thing.
Oh boy.
If there was
Gi-
anything fishy, Hank would sniff it out.
So, Wolfgang, give me an intelligence roll really quickly.
Oh no.
I'm questioning my intelligence of bringing Ava to see someone I have a rapport with.
It's Eve, you Philistine.
Yeah. So, right as she's talking, right as she's asking the question, this isn't a Jewish woman, is she? You're pretty sure just by looking at her, the woman you were talking to also might have some Jewish heritage.
Okay.
Hold up, but it's an extreme success, so he should be able to tell if it was on the mother's or father's side, you know?
Well,
Your
either
father's
way,
eyes were hazel. I can see it.
either way, you know there's a little bit of hypocrisy in her voice there.
All right. I'll just pack that in the back of my brain and let's go.
All right.
We should probably check in with Billy.
Yeah, I was about to say. So, Rick Nikita, you eventually end up arriving
Fawn
at
scrotum.
the
Holy shit.
local Arkham record store. And yeah, you end up finding that it's a fairly small little record store. It's pretty well kept
Are
up.
you understanding what I'm talking about?
No, I do not at all. Please explain.
A public records building.
Oh, public
Like in City
records
Hall.
building. I thought you said record
Yeah.
store for whatever reason.
No.
FYI, 1920s.
Okay.
So real quick, Stormcrow, that's the true Lovecraftian horror twist. You're secretly a Jew. Holy shit.
Oh my
So in the
God.
end, there was no harm done.
No harm done in the end, guys.
Why
Not
don't
that
we
there's
all
anything wrong with that.
end up right now?
So you eventually end up making your way to the Arkham Hall of Public Records. So it's more or less pretty much just it's a fairly large building right around the center of town. There's like people of all sorts just kind of like walking along, minding their own business. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna go up to the what's the name of the person at the office? Whatever the fuck.
Clerk?
Yeah, the clerk.
Yeah.
And ask if I can see all the old newspapers.
Okay.
Yo, Anton, what's up, man? Thanks for coming.
You end up walking up towards the man. He's like, "Oh, hello there. I'm assuming you're looking for something specific."
Yeah, I'm looking for 7 years ago would have been what 19.
22.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be 22.
Well, it's 1925. Or 29, isn't it?
It'd be 1926.
Oh, we're in
32.
the 1930s right now?
You're in
Yeah, I'm
1933.
basically looking up all the
I
dates.
thought we were in the 20s. Yeah.
I'm looking up all the years of the people that I learned about. So that'd be Randolph Carter's, Aspinwall, Ward Phillips, Chandra Putra.
Okay.
Chandra Putra.
He's like, well, very well. It seems like what I know myself, some of that seems to be fairly recent news, but I think we have some public records for it all the same. Go ahead and give me a library use roll as you're just starting to make your way around the building.
Oh boy.
Ooh, a good success. So I don't have a handout for this, frankly. But looking around the area, it ends up taking about 2 hours as you're kind of like scouring the different bookshelves. It doesn't take you terribly long before you end up finding a few different articles talking about the whole legal incident, kind of like surrounding the Randolph Carter heir to the estate. It seems that what the bartender told you was mostly accurate, that there isn't really a direct heir for Randolph Carter and his family line, only distant cousins. It seems that this Aspinwall figure, he was the closest to an actual descendant and heir, and there was a whole legal battle surrounding that before it abruptly ended whenever 4 mystics, including Chandra Putra, Aspinwall is an accountant, and then Ward Phillips and a 4th person all had kind of like met up, and then it mysteriously ended in disaster. Aspinwall ended up reportedly dropping dead on the spot out of fright at apparently the sight of something rather monstrous looking. However, even in the article, it seems to be waved off as superstition, as there might be some sort of deflection casting further doubt on Ward Phillips.
Yeah, but is there any newspaper on Chandra?
On Chandra Putra?
Chandra Putra.
Like they would write something if a mystic was showing up outside the town.
From what you could find, there doesn't seem to be anything of the sort.
Also, who is the 4th guy?
The 4th guy. Let me look ever so quickly in my notes. Yeah, very thrilling, I know. Let's see here.
Note checking action.
Harley Warren.
Harley Warren?
Yeah. And so
He's a mystic?
Yeah, he seems to have the least amount of involvement in this case. But what you know about him, what the article mentions is that he was a South Carolina mystic who studied in the primal Nakal language of the Himalayan priests. He was someone who personally knew Carter and saw him disappear.
Is he disappeared as well?
From what you can tell, it doesn't seem to be anything of the sort. It's just he lives. From what you can tell, the article mentions very little about him. It doesn't seem like he lives in the Arkham area, however.
He used to live in the Arkham area, right?
Not really. It's more he's a lot of, from what you can tell out of a couple of the different articles you're kind of like searching up about them, is that the 4 mystics that knew Carter, with the exception of Chandra Putra, all of them seem to have some sort of history that go back with Carter, either involving the Great
What was
War.
the other 2? If we knew 4.
So there were 4 of them in total. Chandra Putra is the one where there's no clear connection. there is Harley Phillips, or no, I'm getting the name wrong as we
Harley
speak.
Warren.
Harley Warren.
Harley
Yeah.
Warren, Ward Phillips, and then Aspinwall. He was the actual account. He was the distant cousin of Randolph Carter, who was vying for the estate.
Aspinwall. He lived in town, right?
He actually didn't. What you end up finding about him is that he wasn't a local to Arkham. He was actually from Chicago. It's just he was traveling all the way down so he could try and get actual control of the estate.
Can I find anything on Randolph's family in general history?
You would probably have to make another library use roll. It's not immediately there in what you were able to pull up. Another success. You end up finding what pretty much amounts to being the same book that both Eve and Wolfgang were able to find concerning the the Carter family and the Salem witch trials. It seems that their family has a decent amount of controversial history surrounding the Salem witch trials of 1692.
There was nothing else after that in between?
There is one other account you can find looking through them of another Carter in 1781 disappearing around the woods and around Mount Elm, close to what seems to be the cottage of a local figure named Goody Fowler, a local witch and, well, frankly, kind of a childhood bedtime story, as far as a lot of people are concerned.
Local witch.
Yes.
Goody Fowler.
In a historical sense, she is regarded as a witch.
That's a dude's name.
Only if you wanted to, darling.
Again, I would feel bad if this was a name I came up with.
Goody Fowler. That sounds like a dude's name.
Everybody has secrets.
Guess that's all I can look up.
Okay.
I mean, you have everyone outside of the fucking state, so I can't even do yellow books to find them near where they lived.
Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to do while in the Hall of Public Records?
Yeah, I want to look up more on Alfred Wilcon's from here, right?
You're not necessarily. You assume so. Yeah, you would believe so. It seems, since he has an office in here, that in fact he is likely had a bit of an upbringing here in Arkham.
Can I do a library use to see if I can find anything on him?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me another library use check.
Fuck.
Yeah, unfortunately this time you're not able to find up much of anything about Dr. Alfred Wilkins. All right, and with that, we'll go ahead and cut back to Dexter, Eve, and Wolfgang. You all are pretty well exiting the bar at this point. What are you all doing now?
Oh, Wolfgang is driving. Are we there yet?
It doesn't take you too long before you all arrive at Mary Atwood's residence. It seems like there's no real actual place of business. It's just kind of like a small apartment that she's rented out. And Wolfgang, you more or less are leading the way since you know the way to her place.
Okay, tall man, lead the way. I will submit to your instruction for this duration. As long as it's good instruction, of course.
I appreciate that.
Phrasing.
I am a good Christian woman, but I am not an idiot. And seeing as he is a tall man, it's better to listen to him than a short man. Sorry. look behind me at freaking Dexter.
All right. Each of you end up making your way all the way up to the proper floor, and end up knocking at the door. And it isn't long before an elderly looking woman ends up opening the door. She's just like, "Ah, Wolfgang, I was waiting for you.
It's good to see you again. How you been?
I've been doing quite fine, quite fine. How is the family? How is everyone doing? Oh, I see you've brought guests with you.
Yes, steps forward. He has.
Yes, ma'am. Takes off his hat.
As soon as you
This
step
is Ava.
closer,
This is Dexter.
she ends up shaking both of your all's hands. As soon as you get closer, Eve, she's like, "Ooh, there's a rather intense energy about you. You've got a bit
That
of
is only
conviction."
my belief in Joseph Smith and our Lord Jesus Christ. May he be with us.
Very well.
I pull. Oh yeah, Ottery, I've told you about this object, right? I pull out the crucifix.
Oh yeah. She doesn't react whenever you pull out the crucifix, just looks mildly concerned.
Better be careful, mystic.
Quite. She ends up turning to shake your hand, Dexter. She's like, "Oh, you have a much calmer energy about you. Oh, and you have quite the companion there." She ends up kneeling just to pet Hank. Hank seems awfully receptive to this woman.
He is no German shepherd, but he's better than nothing, I guess.
He can
Gives
always
a-
sniff out when there's no good.
He gives a low, deep-throated howl. Oh,
I just pat his head.
just end up giving him a light pet. You can feel the wrinkles just kind of shifting as he's just like giving you a very like droopy look.
Oh.
You know, I'm happy.
You know what? I'm happy. All right, let's continue.
Make me mad, bro.
But you end up finding that the interior to Atwood's apartment in general seems to be pretty cluttered, all things considered. But at the same time, there's a strange feeling of hominess to it at the same time. And she's just like, come in. Make yourselves at home."
Cleanliness is next to godliness, and very, very German, I might add.
I see. I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Well, thanks for being able to see us. We are looking into, well, what happened with Carter.
Oh, yes? What exactly are you wanting to know about Carter? I only know a little bit about the man myself.
What do you know?
Well, I know that he went missing several years ago. I know that Ward Phillips is keeping up the place in his stead, but not much more than that.
Have you been to the house in question?
I can't say I have.
Are you sure?
He
I look you in the
disappeared.
eye.
Quite sure.
He disappeared, and he disappeared near a cave, right?
I believe so, yes. That was what was printed in the papers.
They call it the Snake's Den.
Ah, yes, I've heard of it. It seems like a
We're
place
trying to
full of
figure out
dark
what it
magic.
is.
And do you happen to know the location of a hut? There is a hut for mystics, they say, in the woods. I can't
Oh.
imagine it's very well kept, but I'm curious if you know of its potential location within the woods.
You are speaking of Goody Fowler, yes?
Yes.
Yes, I know she was, back in her day, she was one of the local witches that were talked about quite a bit. I can't say
I start
much
saying
more.
the Lord's Prayer in German.
I can't say much more that I know about it other than that I believe the hut was abandoned. A couple of explorers came across it not 10, 15 years back, but it was more or less in a state of ruin.
And do you happen to know who those explorers are, and if we can contact them?
Honestly, I can't say I know.
Wolfgang, please speak to her. I'm losing patience. I sit back and light a cigarette.
You could go wait in the car.
If you tell me to wait in an American piece of engineering one more time, I'm going to put my cigarette out on your cheek.
That's not a good idea. But anyway, yeah, we need to dig up as much. Hey, all that was found was a white handkerchief, right?
I believe so. I'm not entirely certain.
I
was-
can
Is that
only
what
hope
was
that it
reported?
was clean.
I was wondering if anyone knew where that went to.
You
Um,
know, if you wish, I could try and search about this Carter estate. Perhaps you and I, perhaps we could all join hands and see what we can divine. If you are receptive to the idea, of course.
Obviously, in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ and Joseph Smith.
Obviously.
Now, I'm not very familiar with all this mysticism, ma'am, but I'm
you-
willing to do anything to find Mr. Carter.
Well, you don't have to be familiar with it. I can handle most of it.
Okay,
All we are
then
trying
you
to
guys
figure
can do
out-
that. I'm going to smoke my cigarette and enjoy the art and the environment here. I get up and start wandering the house.
All right. She ends up holding out her hands to both you, Dexter, and Wolfgang. She's like, "If you all are ready, I can try and see what I can find about this place."
We're ready.
Sure.
All right. You all end up just kind of like pretty much seating yourselves as you all your hands make contact. And she instructs each of you to close your eyes as she kind of like starts to give a low hum. For what seems like several minutes, nothing truly of note is happening. Eve, what are you doing while this is happening?
I get out of any potential sight of our host, as she is, and I start looking through her belongings for any clues, any sense that she is not being fully truthful with us.
Are you going outside or are you staying within the apartment?
Staying within the apartment, of course, darling.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a spot hidden check.
Spot hidden, very good. Hold on.
Well, I mean, she is a big bitch, so would it be hard?
I am quiet like a panther. How do you know?
She's just queefing while she's standing.
Jesus Christ.
What's that
Yes,
sound?
very good success.
So you end up rifling through her different things, and it takes a few minutes, but it isn't long
How
before
ordinary. Toss this thing aside.
it isn't long before you end up coming across certain little bits of like dust and trinkets where it seems like you feel like you've heard about this a bit in the past, but you're pretty sure that there's been quite a few psychics who will use this material as a means of kind of like faking certain effects, kind of like falsely reading palms whenever there's really nothing there. There's several books on the art of mysticism, but just actually looking at the covers, it feels like there's a sort of like inauthenticity to it.
Not only is she a heathen, but she's a fake one.
Yeah, there seem to be several books that detail the art of actually kind of like putting on a performance. Meanwhile, cutting back to Dexter and Wolfgang, both of you all are holding your hands. I want both of you to give me a power check.
And
Give me a
how do I
power
do
roll.
that?
So on your character sheet, make
I'll
sure your
show you.
edit
Hold
toggle
on.
is off and
I
click power.
have it off. Okay, power. Where is power?
Power is going to be right
Oh,
in here
power.
somewhere. Second row, third down.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So
Failure. Darn.
So, Wolfgang, for a moment, you feel like there's a bit of a. It's like both of you start to feel that, despite what seems to be a rather vapid sort of humming for several moments, all of a sudden things get awfully cold, like unsettlingly, like it's freezing in there. And even Eve, to a certain degree, you get this feeling too, like it's a passing wind that just feels like it could be like. And the
Oh,
30s
no,
or
she-
20s.
No wonder she can't. No wonder she's a fake. She can't even afford proper insulation.
For a second, Wolfgang, it feels like something is kind of like pressing against you, and then the presence leaves. However, for you, Dexter, not only do you feel like a sort of like pressure on your shoulders, for a brief moment, you glimpse what seems to be the sight of, strangely enough, it seems like a rather kind of like vibrant sort of like forest that you're walking along just for the briefest of moments. Seems like there's sort of like strange pixie dusts and sparkles in the trees. Strange little creatures going between the trees as well, who seem to have homes within the actual wooden hovels. They seem to be rather squat and vaguely unsettling to look at. There's another flash, and before long, you get the glimpse from a hilltop of a strangely beautiful city, more beautiful than you could have ever imagined in your life. Let's see here. Make me.
So it's a city of tits and honey. 'Cause he is like a young 22-year-old man.
Make me a sanity roll.
Only Dexter, right?
Yeah, only Dexter.
While this is happening, I am getting close behind our host here with my crucifix out, just in case something goes wrong.
So
Is
Dexter,
that cold? Is that what Zolan would call something Zolan would call inner sense?
yes, he actually would. Dexter, for a second, you get a glimpse of this city and you feel drawn to it, like inextricably drawn there. It's like you get the feeling that not only is there a great presence, there might even be gods dwelling in this city. And then all of a sudden, you snap out of it. Like the cold presence passes, the pressure goes, and then all of a sudden, everything seems to just kind of like slowly quiet down. However,
So
did anybody
when
else
Dex
think of that South
pulled
Park
out-
episode?
So when Dexter pulls out, he sees a crazy-eyed bitch with a giant nose with a cross right above the fucking mystic.
Oh, no. You guys are missing part of the context. This cross has a hidden knife as well.
So on top of this, as soon as this ends, you can see that not only is Mary, she not only still has her eyes closed, one of her hands just breaks from you, Wolfgang, and she starts rapidly like writing down on a piece of paper. And a few seconds
I
pass,
raise the crucifix a little bit more.
Do I see
raising
this
up the
happen?
crucifix. And after a second or two, she is finally finished. And Wolfgang, looking over, this is what you see written down.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, hold on. A bug is a gug in a mug neath the rug. A rug is a bug who muggeth the gug. A mug is a bug that will gup up the rug. But a gug is a gug. My friend is a ghoul, so I hateth the gug. That's it.
It all makes sense now.
Eve is very concerned about the possible demon possession of this woman. Continues to raise the crucifix.
I think Dexter is just going to like frown and like shake his head and kind of whisper to himself, "Did Rick slip me something at the bar?" And just is refusing to believe like what he saw.
Well, hold
After
up. Rick you didn't drink nothing, so you can't blame this on Rick, okay?
I think he drank water at most.
Thing is, Dexter, you snapping out of that fever dream there, it just set my mind on that South Park episode where they were all doing they called it doing the cheese, where they're all getting high and they would see that go into this heavy metal style animation.
Are you talking about where they were having the male cat piss on their face?
Yeah, that one. And they're like, you never really get to see your knockers anyway, because everybody's had that same hallucination. They snap back to reality right before she bears it.
So
Yeah.
I'm silently standing above our host, ready,
Yeah.
ready in case something goes wrong.
After a second, your host, Mary, she opens her eyes and she slumps against her back against the sofa, and you can just hear her kind of like almost whisper, "I'm sorry. Nothing like that has ever happened before.
You okay?
I think I'm fine." She tries to stand, but it seems like she's doing so with quite a bit of effort.
I
After a
put my
second, she
hand
has
on her
to-
shoulder to keep her down, sitting down. God rest her soul.
She doesn't resist. She just sits down. She's like, "I'm afraid I'll have to rest. I'm sorry. You might have to speak to me later. I need some time."
In German,
I whisper, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." The knife comes out of my crucifix.
Whoa!
I'm sorry. What, darling? I thought this is what you wanted. We cannot suffer demons.
Her eyes go wide, and you can see her whole body lock up.
Stop! I intercept.
Okay. I'll stop. I will have you know that she has materials in this house that indicate she is not only a mystic but a fake one. I thought you should know.
Well, whatever I saw.
I don't care what you think or what you saw. You don't pull knives on my friends.
This is the knife is retracted. This is a simple religious symbol, darling. Don't be exaggerated.
No capes, no capes.
No capes.
Was it her
We don't-
doing that made me see what I saw?
You're not
Just now.
sure.
She may have given you some sort of illicit substance. Surely something that is commonplace in the bakeries back in my home country. These things are known to me. I looked down at our host. Did you put some illicit substance?
She shakes
And-
her head in just like an expression of awe and confusion. She's like, No, I didn't."
I don't believe you. You are a heathen and a fake one. Nothing you say is trustworthy.
Ava,
We shall
wait
go.
outside, please.
Fine, I will smoke by the car. Just know that your car will smell like cigarettes, but if you take too long, I step out and go.
All right. Cutting back real quick to Rick Nikita. Billy, what is Rick Nikita doing at the moment?
So in the newspapers, does it say what morgue did the autopsy on Aspen Well?
There isn't any reports of the. There in the papers. There's no reports of the actual autopsy that you could find.
Well, I want to go in the yellow books and I want to look up the morgue in town.
The morgue in town. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me another library use check. I don't think this
So
would
look
take
up
two.
a morgue with numbers, with letters.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'd say it doesn't take too long to actually find the address for the morgue. There's also a phone number in a way, and
Yeah,
of course, there's
writing down
also
the phone
public
number.
phones.
Yeah, writing down the phone number. I'm gonna go
Okay.
to a phone
All right.
and call in.
All right. So you end up dialing up the operator. They end up directing you to the morgue. Morgue operator ends up responding. Yes, this is the mortician. What exactly is it?
This is Rick Nikita. I'm a teacher's assistant to a professor named Barry McGotcock at University of
What
Harvard,
the
and
fuck?
I'm doing a paper on it. He wants me to scout out and talk to people about, mysterious deaths of like heart attacks. We
Give
heard
me a
about Aspen Wells.
Give me a fast talk roll.
What, Barry McGotcock done convince you?
Give me a fast talk roll.
Fuck. Fuck.
Oh no.
He's like, do you think this is some sort of sick joke or something? Please, like, if you need someone to actually talk to, like, look at the funny books, for Christ's sake.
All right, I
just
hang
don't
up.
talk to me.
Fuck. All right, I'm gonna head there anyway.
All right, so you end up driving your way over there. You know the address, and it's well within the city limits of Arkham. You end up parking outside, rather squat building. End up kind of like coming up to the door. What do you do?
I'm gonna go in.
It door's locked.
What time is it?
It's getting close to dusk, actually.
That should still be open at 6.
Mm, fair enough. You end up opening the door, and there's kind of like a more or less a reception desk there. There's what seems to be just kind of like another desk clerk there. This one, she seems to be kind of like in her what seems to be late 30s, maybe early 40s, but she's just kind of like giving you a rather kind of like frankly bored look as she's coming in. She's like, "Yeah, what do you want? What can I do for you?"
Who's the mortician here?
That would be Mr. Michael Sharp.
I'd like to talk to him if I can.
Very well. One moment. She ends up just kind of like taking a. She ends up excusing herself, walking back. It takes a few moments before a rather sullen-looking middle-aged fellow ends up coming closer. He has kind of like a bushy-looking beard, dark hair, rather square-looking jaw. His overall demeanor, though, doesn't look too friendly. He's like, "Yeah. Oh, are you the guy over the phone?"
I sure am. I need
He's
to
like,
ask questions about Aspenwell.
"Look, if you're trying to come up with some sort of joke, I've had enough of it. Just be honest with me. What do you really want?"
I just want to know about the autopsy on Aspenwell.
Mr. Aspinwall? I'm not even sure if I know anything about Aspinwall. Chances are, from what I know, if you're talking about Aspinwall who died all the way down in New Orleans, I'm assuming the autopsy was conducted there.
Art, are you changing up where he died now?
No, he died in New Orleans.
Why didn't you tell me that before I done all this stupid shit? I thought he died here.
No, I probably should have mentioned that.
Should have paid attention, darling.
Yeah.
Can you give me the number to that morgue?
Yeah, he ends up looking for a second. He's like, "All right, Tara, go ahead and give him the number." She's like, "All right, I'll call them up for you." She ends up punching in the number, kind of explains it. She eventually hands the earpiece to you for you to talk.
I'm asking questions on the autopsy of Aspenwell.
The person over the phone is saying, what exactly do you want to know about the autopsy?"
What caused his death?
They end up, you hear what seems to be rifling through papers. After a few moments, they say, "Yeah, it looks like death by spontaneous heart failure. There doesn't seem to be any major causes of death. No injuries. The man was pretty healthy for his age, but it doesn't seem like there was any there. It seemed like he, quite frankly, died of fright to something."
Alrighty. Alright, I'm just gonna hang up.
Okay. What else are you doing?
Going back to the hotel.
Going back to the hotel? Okay. All right. We're going to cut back to everyone else. What are you all doing as you all are kind of like near the entrance?
They were still inside. I was out smoking by the car. I'm just keeping an eye out for any weirdos.
Okay. There doesn't seem to be any weirdos. Most people are minding their own business, but you never know. Any moment now, there might be someone who's a little too sympathetic towards the American cause who might try and sway you.
Occasionally, I try to convince people of German supremacy and to believe in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Most seem sympathetic whenever you're mentioning Jesus Christ, but anytime you start mentioning German rhetoric, they kind of slightly nod, turn their heads.
Oh, very good. They're nodding. They must agree. I go back to smoking my cigarette.
What are the rest of you doing? Eve and Dexter.
Wait, hold up.
Not Eve. Wolfgang and Dexter.
I am tending to Mary, making sure she's okay, and apologizing my ass off for bringing someone in who tried to kill her.
I did not try to kill her. I will not stand this rhetoric.
You don't have to stand it. You're not hearing it, so you're outside smoking a cigarette.
In spirit.
In spirit.
I think Dexter is just standing there kind of trying to figure out what exactly happened there. Like, of course, he's really, like, concerned for, what's her name?
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah, her. Yeah, very concerned. I can't remember her name.
Yeah, he's concerned for Mary, but, like, he's still kind of, like, baffled just by, like, having visions because he has no experience whatsoever, like, being exposed to anything like that.
Yeah,
Well, we'll have to introduce you to Trippy Soul.
it's a rather strange and alien experience, to say the least. In that split second of being in that enchanted wood and seeing that city over the hilltop, you didn't quite feel like yourself either. It felt like there was almost kind of like... It felt like you were more than one person. If there's 80... There's nothing that quite felt like the same like that.
Yeah, I think Dexter has come to the conclusion that he feels like he needs to see the side of, like, the manor itself.
Okay.
Just like he's just everything seems to keep on pointing him to, like, go there because it seems like we've not garnered a whole lot more information.
As you're thinking about this, Hank just kind of like jumps up on the sofa, ends up putting himself over your lap, looks up at you and just kind of whines, like putting his head right up against your chest.
I just stroke his ear, just out of habit and also to calm myself down.
He just continues to whine slightly, but it's more in a comforting way.
I guess, what's his name? Wolfgang, where do you think we need to go from here?
Puffs a cigarette.
I'm really not sure.
Taps ashes out on hood of car.
I feel like we need to actually go see the manor itself. And as well as, like, the woods around.
And granted, the whole purpose was to convince someone to move out, but I'm become far more interested in figuring out what the hell happened to Carter.
Right. To be honest, that's the main reason I'm here, is to find Carter. I mean, yes, I may not be in the most well off, but yeah, finding Carter, just solving that mystery is really what I'm after.
I'm stomping out my third cigarette while waiting impatiently.
Mary, are you okay now?
She ends up just kind of like inclining her head. She's like, "Yes, I think I'll be fine. All I think I need is some rest. And you may go now. I think I have it from here."
All right. Thank you for your help. I take the what she wrote down with us, and we go.
All right, and you end up going.
Yep, and we head out to the car, and we're gonna head out to the estate, complex, whatever it's called, mansion.
Dexter, you look quite out of sorts, darling. Did something happen? Are you that upset with me, or is it something else?
No, for the first time in my life, I saw something. Like,
What do you mean you saw something?
Yeah, it was.
The Lord works in mysterious ways. I'm very curious about your religious experience with him.
It was unlike anything I've seen before. Just these strange woods, and a city out in the distance.
That is surely a view of the paradise created by our great Joseph Smith. Yes. I'm glad. I shall talk to you later about the particulars. You have potential.
On that note, I think it's a good time for us to take about a 5-10 minute break. We can probably
Listen,
continue.
I was making Harry Potter, Hitler, Cthulhu.
I love that escalation by that for that.
Very good, very good.
So, how does that sound for you guys? Take about 5-10 minutes. We'll come back and continue the game from there.
That sounds fine, darling. Fine.
Fine, absolutely fine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
dude,
right.
this might be more fun than my last character. Actually, this is great. I like this.
All right. Well, for everyone in the chat, we'll be back in 5. Until then,
They'll be back.
we'll be back.
Don't worry. Cthulhu Hitler will return. Harry Potter as well.
All right. Well, I'm gonna mute myself really quick, and I think I'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, I am back.
I am back as well.
Nice, nice.
I'm having to get used to Roll20.
No, that's Roll20. Roll20 is a
Ain't no black protagonists in Nintendo games, boy.
damn it, Link.
I am in the wrong neighborhood to be sitting outside my laptop with the volume at full blast when that pops up.
Yeah, it's a little bad timing. It happens. It happens.
Of course it does, darling.
Of course.
Dude.
Hello? You order Chinese food? Oh, we got our food here. It's cold outside. Oh, you fat fuck. You got egg roll, you got dumplings, spare ribs, you got everything. Everything.
Everything.
Dude, I'm having a like. There's no act. It's not fighting like in most of the D&D kind of stuff that we've done before, but I'm having a blast. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was curious to see how this game would go with everyone, and so far it's been a lot of fun, in my opinion.
In many ways, it leaves more room for like character stuff because it's not so much fighting.
Yeah, I would describe Call of Cthulhu. It's kind of like the opposite of D&D in a lot of ways. It's a lot more investigation and learning stuff, and trying to outsmart kind of like the Eldritch horrors instead of like facing it head on.
Remember, I do have a disguise and prosthetic kit with
Yes,
me,
you
so
do.
if I decide to go back into that bar, I may be able to pull it off.
Let's see. I think we've still got a few minutes before everybody comes back.
I do wonder if your previous character would do as well with that cattle prod against Cthulhu. Would you
Hola, inglés.
of the cattle prod up his ass?
Dude, I loved that combo. That was one of the best. I think that might be the best combo attack we saw in the entirety of Dark Augment.
No, I'm not going to tell anyone. You know what people will say if they found out I tried to fuck a lady boy and it turned out to be a lady girl?
Billy, are you back yet, or do you need a minute or so?
No, I'm back.
All right. Do we want to go ahead and continue?
I'm eating, but I'm down to start anytime.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm back to my practical effects VTuber.
Herman
nice.
says, "Oh, I had to pull something out of my butthole, and that was the best I could come up with." You
Pulling
fuck.
a cat out of your butthole? That's a little weird. Where's that video?
You want to know what it sounded like? That's exactly what it sounded like.
Like Christian, I'm getting ordered to do the darkness with the robot doing the flicking her tits, and then I want to also get the Chomsky when he's the censorship for Kazuma's dick in the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
And they're screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like when she when Megumin names the sword Chimchimuru. The sword's name is Chimchimuru. Huh?
Ah! Oh yeah. He was thinking all day of a cool name for his fucking katana. By the way, he had to shorten the katana because he wouldn't put it sideways. He wouldn't put it horizontal with the back.
Yeah, and then the armor was too heavy, so he couldn't leave with it.
Yeah.
His build is actually pretty strong later, like by the time season 3 comes around. Like if you know how to play it, because he has like the drain, he has steel, he has a lot of like subtle magical abilities.
He literally there's a chapter where he switches to a different party for like a day, and he was actually like fucking dominating with this other party, and the other dude. It didn't last long. He was crying to switch parties back before the day ended.
Switch back, no.
All right. On that note, we'll go ahead and continue the game. So
Umbrella Cat, I don't know why we even try to do art. Just you keep doing your thing. We'll stop.
Oh, I was just drawing with a mouse.
I know, that's way better than what we could do, though.
Can't you tell who it is? It's the Lord Otter.
Oh, that's who okay.
Oh my
okay.
god,
It is
instead
him.
Instead of burning Elmo, it's burning Otter.
Yes.
You need
Well,
to
who
do
also
a
sees
Lord
him?
Otter version of the "This is fine" meme.
Oh my god,
That'd be pretty good.
that would be great.
How are you seeing it? All I got is all your pictures on top of it.
I'm seeing it through the Call of Cthulhu page on Roll20.
Well, yeah, but I mean, no matter which way I try and move it around, I have all your icons. Like,
You see in the left-hand corner, or the left-hand side next to your roll table, there's a zoom in and zoom out button. So it has a
The roller thing on your mouse should also do it.
but I have a picture of a cop, a guy with a weird mustache, some chick with a
go into your
otter,
settings.
and myself, all
Go into
just plastered in front of the screen.
Yeah, go to my settings, the little gear.
Yeah.
The roll
Christian,
table thing.
can you pull
Present
up
again?
yeah, present again, and you can kind of like show them.
Here we go. Ta-da!
Yeah, so it'll be on the settings gear on the right there.
Yeah.
My
And,
settings.
It's audio and video there.
And I can change the size of everybody's icons there.
And it's video display. It's like that tab there, video display.
Second tab.
Down.
Go down. No, go back.
Oh, fine. Hold on.
Video display. Up just a little bit. There you go.
Oh, display name.
Yeah, and it says player, shower, location, and then click on that and just have it. You can actually just have it be names only.
Yeah.
Christian.
Oh, I don't care. This is more for Wrangler, not for me.
Oh, you're not looking at my screen. You're looking. It's not my screen you guys are looking at.
Yeah, no, it's mine.
I was showing Kahuna's screen so you could kind of see where I'm pointing to.
Okay, so I need to click back over to.
Yeah, click over to
StreamYards.
settings.
No, the StreamYards. I was on.
Okay.
But
I have them on in different tabs. I have a one on one screen, one on the other. It makes it easier.
All right. While that's going on, we'll go ahead and resume the game. So you all were heading straight to the Carter estate, and last time I checked, it was you. It was Rick Nikita. You were going back to the hotel, was it?
No, I'm going to the bar.
You're going to the bar. Okay. So you end up stepping back into the bar, specifically the Walton bar. All right. And yeah, it's much the same as before. It's a little rowdier than it was earlier, mostly because it's much later in the night. It also just so happens to be right at the weekend. It's like a Friday night, so it's rather busy. So yeah.
Also, the vague smell of German cigarettes still wafts through the air.
Ever so faintly.
Hey, I can see the flaming otter now.
There you go.
There you go.
Also, there's art of a flaming otter. There you go.
What is Rick Nikita doing?
He's going up to order a drink with the bartender again.
Okay. He's like, good to see a kindly old face again. I'm assuming you want more of the usual, or are you feeling a little daring tonight?
Let's try something new.
All right.
You pick.
I've got all sorts of stuff. Scotch on the rocks. Got some whiskey. Kind of drinks are you looking for?
Let's go with some scotch.
There's
Very well.
vodka with.
Questions.
You're the boss. Ends up pouring
Who were
you.
the lawyers involved in the case with Alfred Wilkin and Ward Phillips?
I don't rightly know. I can't really say I know that much of it myself. All I know is what I told you.
You don't know any of the agencies?
I'm sorry, I'm just a just a regular bartender. If I knew that much, I'd probably get into the whole accounting gig myself.
God, you're really leaving me with nothing. Jesus fucking Christ.
You should ask if something's happened because the atmosphere is different.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Give him another $5.
I thank you kindly. I appreciate the tip.
Now, what's the name of those lawyers?
He ends up thinking about it for a second. He's like, well, let's see here. I believe their names were Daryl Bang and Donnie Mason. They were lawyers
You
on
said
both
what?
sides.
What up, Daryl Bang?
Daryl Bang and Donnie Mason.
Say that again?
Daryl Bang and Donnie Mason.
Daryl Bang, who is he representing?
Daryl Bang was representing Mr. Aspinwall, whereas Donnie Mason was representing, well, let's say Ward Phillips and the Carter side, the defendant.
Wow, Bailey is really channeling Nick's retardation, says someone in the comments.
Of course. And Daryl Bang was Wilson.
Yeah, Aspinwalls.
Also, big star in the adult industry.
Wait, Aspinwall.
Yeah, Daryl Bang was the lawyer for Aspinwall. Donnie Mason was the lawyer for Carter.
I thought the legal case was going on between Alfred Wilkin and Ward Phillips.
Oh, so that's what you were talking about. For whatever reason, I thought you were talking about the whole case between like the four mystics and Aspinwall earlier.
Wait, they had a legal case against each other?
The one where he dropped dead suddenly a year ago. That was part of a whole legal case, but it ended it as soon as Aspinwall died. This is a follow-up to that with Alfred Wilkins and Ward Phillips. My bad. It's honestly my bad. So Donnie Mason is the lawyer for Alfred Wilkins, and Daryl Bang is the lawyer for Ward Phillips.
Ward Phillips.
Yeah. No, that was honestly
Alright.
my bad.
I'm going to thank him, and I'm going to head on to the hotel.
Okay. All right. And the rest of you all, you're going to the estate? Is that it? Or where are you all going?
I wish we could have gotten more information on the supposed mystic cabin up in the woods, but going to the estate was inevitable. We should be able to convince him to leave off.
Well, what time is it actually?
It's getting into nighttime. It's about 9:00 p.m.
Do we want to do this investigation at night, or do we want to wait until like the next day?
Rats always operate in the dark, darling.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
That's one way of saying it.
What do you think, tall man? Look over at Wolfgang.
I'm too busy laughing to think.
Are you still angry over me wanting to send your friend to meet our Lord or Savior?
Yes.
Well, get over it, darling. That was like a whole half hour ago.
Why wouldn't I be?
Because it never happened. I was trying to interpret your American signals, and that's what I came up with. Truly, this is more your fault than mine.
For a truth teller, you're a horrible liar.
I am a Christian. I do not lie unless I have to. I mean, or, circumstances. Never mind.
I do think we should probably call it a night and start the investigation. We go knock on the door at this hour. Not a good idea.
Well, there are other ways. You don't have to knock on the door.
While interesting, do we really want to start that this late of the hour?
Also, do we even know where Rick is?
No, I assume he is diddling himself in his car somewhere. As someone of his stature is known to do. But if you guys are really that concerned, we can go back to the hotel. I will stay in my own room, obviously. You guys can share one. That's all the account can expend. All the expense the account can account for.
Well, y'all don't even know what hotel I went to.
I assumed we had one already picked out. You fuck.
No. Damn dirty German whore.
Sir, I am not a whore. Alright, so I suppose we're going back to the hotel.
5 heartbeats away from weaponizing that schnoz, I can tell.
I mean, if that's what you're all doing, you're all going back to the hotel.
God, we may be giving up a very valuable opportunity, I'll have you know. If it doesn't work out, I will blame you entirely. Here we go. Back to the hotel. I guess I could stay up all night praying for you guys to come to know Joseph Smith and our Lord Jesus Christ.
Was Joseph Smith German?
Not exactly. You have to speak to my brethren out in Utah. Utah, Heatah, we all tar. I don't really know how it works out there.
Jesus Christ. Actually, it really fell apart at the end.
Utah, Putty Tat.
I taught putty tat. All right, if there's no objections, I'm assuming you're all going back to the hotel.
Yes, hopefully we can dream of fish people and good vodka.
All right.
Dream of Crackle, someone you knew in another life.
I will look over my collection of German art. Many good up-and-coming artists at this time.
All right, and with that, you all make your way back to the hotel.
Well, Christian, keep in mind, Hitler literally just got elected as president this year.
Yeah, he is leading a grand socialist revolution in my great country. I'm sure he will do much good.
Oh, so this is the point in time where people were still cool with the swastika. It hadn't been bastardized yet.
Not yet, darling. It's still a rather popular symbol, especially with socialists.
Actually,
I believe in equality of all German people, except for those foreigners.
And with that, you all go back to the hotel. Get a fairly sound night of sleep, all things considered, except for you, Dexter. All night you end up having strange dreams, and let's just say it's dreams of beauty, but they quickly turn into those of nightmares. It's a rather strange contradiction altogether. But
Then you wake up, you can hear loud German praying from the door next door.
I think Dexter would just be terrified, but it would fuel his drive to solve this case even further.
Verwalten die Hunters! That's how hoi! Hein!
By the time
my God!
wake up,
we should have
999 in the name of the Lord.
prepared the clip from Team America where they go into all the other cultures and they just say the German one.
Well, next thing you all know, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. You all are pretty well awake.
After screaming German prayers all night. Ah, how refreshing. Gets out a cigarette. Time for breakfast.
It's a rather misty Saturday morning as you all are coming out of your hotel rooms.
How can you stand it in this area of this country? So wet, so missing something. Sorry, it's early. I haven't eaten yet. Light cigarette.
All right, what are you all doing?
I'm rolling some cigarettes.
Okay.
Oh, in character.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Let's see. What is Rick Nikita doing? Is he in the? Give me a luck roll, Billy. I'm gonna say.
no.
I'm gonna say if you fail, you just so happen to be in the same hotel as everyone else,
Why?
just for the fun of it.
He walks out and immediately gets a puff out of my
Wow, hold up,
cigarette.
I'm not even walking out. I'm still in bed.
As far as you know, however, you're in a completely different hotel. They could be anywhere in Arkham at this point.
Do we know where he is?
You don't. Neither of you
Okay.
do.
I wonder where our friend is. Alright, come, Dexter. Let's get some real breakfast. I doubt they serve liquor this early in the morning, but maybe actual food will do.
I think Dexter's maybe going to go up to like the front desk and ask about if anyone has seen the description of Rick Nikita.
Okay, darling, I will get you some eggs and bacon. You need some meat on those bones. I go off.
You end up talking up to the receptionist at
We
the
like
desk
you, Dex.
for the hotel. And the woman kind of like at the desk, she seems rather young, pretty much just a more attractive version of Eve Goldstein.
Son of a bitch.
Without the accent.
You son of a bitch.
Or the attitude.
Or the
And,
giant fucking nose.
She actually has a very small, cute nose by contrast. So
Good thing I didn't go to the
She has a
fucking desk.
Jewish star around her neck.
So,
Yeah.
so as you're speaking to her, she just goes, let me look that up for a second." She flips through what seems to be kind of like a book of different entries. She's like, "Yeah, I believe we have Mr. Rick Nikita here within the hotel."
Oh,
Really?
do you know what room he's staying in?
Let's see here. He's in room 269.
269.
69, eh?
Um,
You know.
Well, thank you.
It is no problem.
He just shines her like the biggest smile. And
She
it goes off.
Whenever you do that, you can see she kind of blushes a little right before you just turn and start walking off.
You see Eve's nose from around the
And
corner?
as he's walking
Guys,
up, he just
they are running out of food in the kitchen. If you want yours, I have a small plate, but you may, especially you, Mr. Dogman, you may want more. Come on.
Yeah, Dexter is gonna head towards the what is it, like a dining room with Hank?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically like a small kind of like breakfast area.
Yeah.
Much bacon. You need some for your constitution, you poor little thing.
So good news, I was able to locate where Rick is supposedly staying.
Oh, what
the
a
hotel.
shame. Is he close by?
He's on 269 is the room number.
Oh,
here?
yes, very good German number. Anyway. Well, let's not disturb him. He doesn't need food. I think he survives off of his anti-religious stance, as it were. So let's let him survive off of that. I push over a plate full of food.
Yeah, I think Dexter is just gonna quickly grab something for both him and Hank. Like, wolf it down.
But darling, you must be starving. I follow. I stomp after.
Yeah, Dexter's just in a rush to get Rick, like, because he doesn't know like what if he's up to no good or whatnot.
Okay, I take an entire like breakfast ham, shove it in my mouth, wipe up with a napkin. Okay, I am ready.
All right. Where's Wolfgang?
What is Wolfgang doing right now?
I'm grabbing some. I thought I was there getting breakfast with them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So you're pretty much just finishing up food right alongside them. You're also seeing Eve just like eating a massive ham and just downing it in one go.
Probably
Believe me, my German mother could do much more with much less time and much smaller hands.
Eve just deep throats the ham.
Ah, perfect.
So filling.
I haven't had that much meat in months.
You're like a German anaconda.
I thank you, darling. It's what I hope to do to attract a man. Let's go.
Meanwhile, what is Rick Nikita doing?
Looking in the yellow books in his room.
Okay.
for
Is there a certain
Daryl
person
Baines'
you were
number.
looking to find?
Daryl Bang's number and Danny Mason's.
Okay. You end up quickly finding their numbers. Yeah, you see the phone number and the address within town for both of them.
All right, I wrote them down.
Okay.
Are we there yet, or are we still on our way, stomping our way up the stairs?
It only takes you all a few minutes before you all end up getting up to room 269.
Yeah, I guess we'll just rap on the door.
Bonk,
I'll
bonk,
do
bonk.
it. I don't want you to hurt your small, delicate hands.
Well, thank you, Eve.
Sudden rapping at the door.
Jesus
Nick,
Christ.
Jesus fucking. Nick Ricada.
Come to. You wouldn't believe the meat they have at the breakfast table. Come to the door, Nick Ricada. We have much work ahead of us today.
Nick Ricada just goes back to sleep.
Hank starts barking.
Wake up! The door starts coming off of the hinge. Actually, should I roll for that, Otter?
Yeah, make a strength roll.
Strength.
Top left.
Top left. Oh, there. Hard success.
Yeah, the door starts coming off the hinges. Pretty violent.
Darling, are you feeling okay? Do you need me to nurse you back to health?
Nick Ricada just gonna roll up in a curl position in his bed. Stay asleep.
He may be dying. Quick, Wolfgang, use your substantial tithe and open the door for a delicate lady like me. Steps back.
Open a door, you fucking knocked it off.
I know, but it's the principle of the thing.
Can I try kicking in the door?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Don't break a nail.
Yeah, it's only a few seconds before you just kick up your foot. It's already helped somewhat that it's kind of hanging loosely by its hinges, and then just bam, door goes wide.
Darling, I strut in, lighting another cigarette. You must eat and keep up your strength. We have much investigating to do today, yeah?
Y'all can handle that.
No,
What
surely.
are you gonna do? And what are you gonna do?
Sleep.
Oh, we do all the work yesterday, and then only come in here to find you not only laid up in bed like a pathetic non-German, but now you aren't even willing to do your portion of the job. Well, that's fine. We can keep the travel expenses for ourselves and do the work without you. We'll give you
That's
a
fine.
limited cut.
And then I just go right back to sleep.
Just where were you yesterday? Where did you go?
The bar.
And were you able to get any more information?
No, but I got a really good scotch, you know? It's perfect.
He is not reliable, darling. We should leave him. Leave him to his drink, his empty promises, his lack of family, and all of his lack of prospects. Leave him to his bottle.
I feel like he's.
Aren't you 20-something years old and still unmarried?
How dare you?
I feel like you are
How dare you?
diverting. You're withholding information. I feel like. You're
Oh,
keeping
I suppose
something.
I didn't consider that. He could lie. What are you hiding? Tell me, what are you hiding?
Nothing. I'm going back to sleep. Now fuck off. Also, you gotta pay for that door now.
Can I do a what is it called?
Bully check.
What are you trying to find out?
Trying to see if he truly is hiding something.
That will be a psychology roll.
Psychology. Where is psychology?
In skills,
there
darling.
it is. Ah,
Yeah, you're not really sure if he's hiding something or not. He's just being a little evasive with the conversation.
What roll do I have to make to pull him his ass out of bed?
Strength roll.
Okay.
Can I dodge that?
You can try and you can go for
Fuck.
a dexterity roll if you're trying to dodge
He
it.
doesn't have to. I pull
Oh,
at his
wait.
ankle, but he's too fucking fat.
can I try and pull him?
You can. Billy, you can try and make a dodge roll.
Oh, do I need to go ahead?
Fuck! God.
Is it strength?
Yeah, it's
Get him,
strength.
Dexter. Use your masculine muscles.
Yeah, you
Very
succeed.
good.
So it's like so pretty much Rick Nikita is trying to like
Police
dodge
brutality!
roll
Police
out of the
brutality!
way.
Police brutality!
What do you mean, police? Who's the? We do not have a cop amongst us.
He is 100% a cop.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, no.
You, end
You
up getting
lied to me.
tangled in the,
Dexter, I feel
you end up
betrayed.
getting tangled in the sheets. Just
I was
get
starting
pulled
to
up.
forgive you for being American.
I don't know where you keep getting the idea that I'm.
Listen, you're
police.
accusing me of lying. Matter of fact, can I make a perception check to see if she's lying in that moment, or he?
It's a psychology check, and
Fuck.
it's
You know what? I still believe it.
Dexter just smiles really big at you and just pulls you by the scruff and be like, "Come on, let's go."
No, no,
Where-
no,
where's
Wolfgang,
my
are you just
involvement?
going to stand there limp dick, or are you going to help?
no, no, no. I'm doing my own thing. Nah, I can't get up at 7. I need to go back to sleep. I'm going right back
It
to bed.
isn't 7. It's 12:30. Half the day is gone, and you are useless in bed. I can't help but
The
feel
alarm
sorry for
clock
your
that literally
wife.
says 7:15, bitch.
Phrasing.
Perhaps
Nice.
your clock is broken.
hey, phrasing.
Phrasing.
Wolfgang, are you going to help, or are you just going to stand there? You're tall enough. You could surely convince this short, ugly man to help us. Fuck.
Sadly, no dice. And besides, Dexter's already got Rick Nikita just kind of like held up by the bed sheets. He's like entangled in them from like failing to dodge. So he's just kind of like Dexter's pretty much just got you up, kind of like held up around his arm.
If
Can I
you'll never
shrug him
find a
off?
woman if you act like this, I'll have you know.
Can I shrug him off?
Sure. Dexter, what do you do? Are you letting him shrug it off, or
Shrug off what?
You
Uh,
holding him.
yeah?
No, I'm gonna try and combat that.
All right, give me another strength roll. And Billy, give me a strength roll as well.
Oh fuck. Rick Nikita's not built for strength, you know. Fucking shit.
I'm
Yeah,
pulling
listen,
out
you're
my
not there
large.
in me.
I'm pulling out my very, very large gilded edition of the Mormon Bible. I will do what they did at sexuality reformation camps back in Utah. I raise Bible above my head. I'm sorry. Wait, what do I have to roll to hit him?
What are you trying to hit him?
Yes, not to hurt him, but to beat the indecision out of him.
It's a brawling roll to try and hit him.
Okay, so fighting.
Unfortunately,
Damn
it's a
it.
failure. It's like you're able to kind of like connect with him, but it doesn't really like do any damage against him.
It kind of
It's
just
kind of
pops
I
him.
don't leave.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
just
have to call
bopping.
the cops. You know this, right?
Is there any way I could knock him out?
You can certainly try.
Here,
Like, I
take
don't
this.
wanna-
This will work, darling.
Like,
Is this
just
what
for a little
happens
while?
to us when we don't have a dungeon to crawl?
Are you
Yeah.
gonna try and knock him out?
Well,
Would
just
you like to use the Mormon Bible, or was there something else you would like to do?
I feel like he is really going against us. And if we don't want him to, like... Because I don't really trust him, if I'm being honest. I don't know if he's up to no good, or if he's actually
bitch,
helping.
you fucking kicked in a door. You don't own.
I delicately knocked, and you did not come to the door. We had no choice, darling.
Well, if we are both trying to solve this
Dexter has like a
investigation,
fucked up sense of morality, you know.
it's like if we're all trying to solve this, why not work together? Why are you so against us?
Would that be persuasion? Trying to persuade him?
You can try and roll a persuasion roll. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not going to directly influence what decision Billy makes. It's just going to. It's basically you illustrating your point to him.
Okay, so persuade.
Yeah.
I tried to charm him with
no.
a wink.
No, I mean it's a decent point, but
My charming wink fails.
God.
yeah. So Nikita, you're seeing this rather young-looking German lady trying to flirt with you, but
My eyelash is getting
doing
stuck on my
anything for you.
schnauzer.
You're just focused on that schnoz the entire time, and it's really distracting.
Gosh,
I
someone-
breathe heavily through my nostrils. Seductively.
Do her nostrils echo?
They're very large. They could.
Those German engineers' nostrils.
All right, so what are you all doing?
Laughing at her nose.
I mean, that's fair.
That is not funny! I light another cigarette and push my way out of the room. Seductively.
Seductively. You're basically just like swinging your hips as you're like fuming away.
I look better walking away, is what I've been told.
I was just trying to think, like, because my thought was possibly, like, if he is so against it, like, trying to, you know, like,
Let's stop
knock him
wasting
out for a
food.
little while and just take him with us.
Yeah, but that's kidnapping.
Yeah.
We are not breaking the law. He is one of our party.
If you decide you want to join us, we'll be down at the estate. We're heading there now. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Have fun.
Yeah, Dexter is just gonna let him fall onto the bed and just give him like a really big frown, which is very
Also,
rare
you're
for
gonna have to
Dexter.
pay the door that you broke.
Yeah,
I'm not crying, you're crying. Making my... Jesus.
All right. So you all end up leaving. Leaving Rick Nikita alone, still somewhat tied up in his sheets on his bed. And the door is a mess. But regardless, you all begin making your way down to your vehicle. Rick
Hold up, they
Nikita?
gotta make sure that they.
Wait,
don't,
what happened
like,
to the door?
they broke the door.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
think
who broke? When did the door get broken?
I
Nothing
in
happened.
the door.
You never pay attention to me.
Yeah,
Hold
I think Dexter would stop by the front desk and try and like pay for it.
Okay.
No, I would stop him. No, that pigsty was so uncareful and rushed this morning. He broke his door in his waking moments.
All
I
right.
mean, you do make
How
a
did
point.
the
He
door get
was
broken?
drinking.
So is that actually what Eve is saying to the receptionist?
Yes, all 6'2", like bad bleary makeup from crying. Very upset.
Give me a hard fast talk check for that.
Let me see. Hard.
How did the door get broken?
Dexter kicked it in.
What? Why?
Because Eve was beaten
Extreme
at the war and it wouldn't
success.
give.
She's like,
I will.
well,
We
that's a bit of a-
simply came to check on our companion, and in his waking moments, he broke the door down. I don't know what to tell you. I'm so sorry. Here's his room number, name, home address, social security number, Target gift card, and more.
She's like, she just sees that you're clearly distressed. She's like, okay, calm down. Oh, I'll see if
Oh,
he
what is
can't.
that lovely symbol on your necklace?
Oh, well, thank you. It's
Oh, I must go. I cry and run out.
yeah, you think you got the point across.
Yep.
Dexter, what are you doing? Wolfgang?
Go into my car and we're going to check out the place.
I
Okay.
was thinking about talking to the receptionist just a little bit, just to say, hey, if you see anything else suspicious or whatnot, like, and give her a number to call.
Okay. So you end up saying that to her as soon as it's like she pretty much perks up right whenever you start talking to her. You end up giving her your number, and you just see her blushing like bright red as you hand it over. She's like, "Oh well, thank you."
He
And
just
she-
winks.
Oh, is Dexter winking?
Yeah.
Just like a short little smile is just kind of like developing along her face. She's trying to avoid eye contact. You can tell she's clearly a little embarrassed.
Yeah, then Dexter gets out of there.
All right.
Once Dexter gets into the car, I hope you were kind to that front desk lady. She has so much potential if she was born slightly different. Anyway,
Yeah, so would you.
what did you say, Wolfgang?
Huh?
What did you say, Wolfgang?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, good. Let's go to the estate.
Alright.
I'm very anxious to get this job done so I can find a husband with all of my wealth.
All right. You end up starting up your vehicle. Start making the road trip all the way out from Arkham. It takes
My
about
home country, they call me a passenger princess. I don't know what this means, but I'm glad I'm not the one driving.
It ends up taking a couple of hours before you all end up kind of like going through some of the more kind of like rural country area. It starts getting a bit hillier, and even the roads aren't quite so well kept.
I start singing German.
Well, what?
We must
Well,
be
what?
going west.
Well
I think.
kept.
Well kempt?
Yeah, well kept.
You mean well kept?
Well, in either way, it works.
I start singing German little German children's songs as we start going into creepier and creepier country.
So we must. I take it we're going west then.
I like just the idea of it being the anachronistic Nani non sesh Luftballon.
Balloons.
Hank is just in the floorboard, just like looking up sadly.
Oh, very good, small non-German basset hound. And sing with me. Then the hunter, the Jäger, and the mountain.
And happy.
He's singing along. He's having a fun time. You can tell.
Very good, Hank. Very good. I've grown quite fond of you. I'm sorry
how
that your owner isn't taller. Oh, Jesus Christ.
You eventually make your way into the countryside. It gets a lot hillier. There's a lot more mist, even more so than there was in Arkham out here.
Oh, the mist has ruined my makeup, ignoring the tears.
It gets to the point where it's even hard to see more than like 20 or 30 feet out from out in front of you. Before long, you can see kind of like the vague outline of trees encroaching closer on either side. And
oh dear, this is starting to remind me of home, except with a greater potential to live.
What?
This reminds me of home, except the potential to live is much higher here.
It seems that the whole area is just getting closer and closer together to the point where it's very claustrophobic. But eventually, rounding another bend, you end up seeing just fog clears up just enough for it to be kind of like the closed gate of what seems to lead into a large manor estate. And kind of like
finally
en-
a proper freaking property.
It's like driving in Glastonbury.
engraved overhead it reads pretty clearly manor of pretty much Carter Estate. That's what it shows.
Oh, I hope I can retire to a place like this in this country. Utah was much better, but who knows? I could be happy in a place like this.
But yeah, you've arrived.
Well, then, if we can't convince the guy who lives here to leave, you might want to cozy up to him.
That is very improper, but you never know. It is a job.
Jeez.
So
Do
what
what
are
you have to do, like the Bible says.
so what are you all doing?
I'm consulting the Bible to see what it says about cozying up to strangers. I don't think this is allowed, but you never know. Oh, he was with his daughters, surely, and this is fine.
Surely.
Surely, yes.
Wolfgang, Dexter, what are the two of you doing?
I'm looking around, just getting a good lay of the land. What am I looking at here?
So you're seeing that the area in front of you, the manor itself is pretty large. There's also a decently sizable courtyard kind of like past this gate, though the gate itself is closed. You can see just as you're arriving, what seems to be a servant or butler is kind of like coming closer, just getting ready to unlock the gate. Then around it, it's just nothing but woods and wilderness.
I am using a crescent wrench to adjust my very well-engineered German bra. I'm creating some lift, as they say here in the States.
Got that proper bullet bra.
Pumping up my numbers, so to say.
I see you're making the point.
Oh, Jesus. Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Ranger pack.
I look over Dexter. Do I look pretty? I
Sure.
cover my nose. I cover my nose with my hand. How about now?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, a little bit better.
What do you mean, damn? What do you mean? What's different?
It's at this point that the butler ends up
You covered your
walking
nose, and
the
all of a
gate.
sudden I realize you have boobs.
I don't know whether to be offended or very, very pleased with what my lord has given me.
Both.
German engineering, to be sure, for both.
Dexter is just looking straight at her boobs.
Don't be a pig. I was asking a simple question.
Yeah, Dexter, they're a little entrancing.
He all of a sudden snaps out of it.
It's at this point that the gates are opened by the butler.
I lower my hand and suddenly the magic is gone.
The schnoz is back. The amazing tits are now not noticed nearly as much.
Perhaps I can use that in persuasion later. Who knows? I could use a buff.
The butler just ends up walking towards you. He eyes the three of you. He doesn't even say anything. He's just looking solemnly at the three of you.
I thrust my chest out and cover my nose again.
Give me a charm roll.
Wait, what? Wait, which roll?
Charm.
Charm, shit. Hold on. Where's C. Crap,
Utilize them power-ups.
there we go. Damn it.
He seems to... Oh, wait, that was a hard roll.
Oh, wait.
regular.
Hold on. I'll try that properly.
Yeah, do it again.
Damn it.
He promptly ignores it. He just looks solemnly... He looks, like, stolidly towards the three of you. He's like... Business?
Yes.
Yeah, Dexter is going to approach. Hello,
Where's the
sir.
man of the house?
Yes, the man of the house is just inside. What is your business here?
Do we know if anybody's currently living in the house?
It is only myself and Ward Phillips. You need not worry about anyone else. It is just us.
In
Okay.
town, Ward Phillips showed interest in our Lord Jesus Christ, and I have come to share the good word with him.
Rest assured that Mr. Ward Phillips is well aware of the word of Christ and follows it diligently. I do not need to hear the words of some zealot before me.
I am no zealot. I am simply a very, 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 very faithful individual. I take out my crucifix.
He looks
That-
towards you, Wolfgang and Dexter. He's like, "What is your business here?"
Yes, sir. We have business to discuss with Lord Phillips.
Oh, and what is this business?
Crap.
That is
I'm sorry.
between us and Lord Phillips.
Yes.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Who?
All of us?
Pretty much all of you who are talking to him right now.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a persuasion.
Fuck. Or else even shit. God damn it.
Uh-oh.
No.
Wolfgang, I'll let you make a roll as well.
Come on, Wolfgang. Use your height. Scare him.
Hold on, I gotta find my character sheet again.
I should have done intimidate. I'm so good at intimidating.
So good.
I'm so good.
Okay, what am I rolling?
Persuade.
Yes.
Ooh, a success.
What do you know?
He seems to ignore both of you all who have been talking directly to him. The more bombastic individuals. He looks to Wolfgang. He's like, I see you have remained quiet for the most part. Tell me, why do you seek an audience with my employer?
I'm trying to find out what happened to his best friend, Carter.
At this, you see a hint of sympathy. He's like, you may proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you, good sir.
If only I had a penis, he would have listened.
He steps aside, making no gesture.
Are we sure Eve doesn't have a penis?
What are you implying? I look down at you at 6'2".
It's merely speculation.
That's not very kind of you. I thought you were supposed to be a good person. Despite your lovely dog, my opinion is now low back to when I first met you. Sorry.
Sorry, I said that out loud. Didn't mean to.
It's okay. People of your education surely can barely control themselves.
As long as you still have a high opinion of the dog, that's what matters.
I have a very high opinion of the dog. It's the only reason I tolerate the American.
Meanwhile, Hank is just panting, looking up at both of you, just with an expectant look. He looks really happy.
Aw.
Who is a good boy in my country? I would protect you from very large, superior race German shepherds.
He borks.
Billy Bob, what did we name the cat? I can't remember. Oh wait, he might have stepped away.
I think he stepped away for the moment.
Obama.
That's right.
Jesus.
I missed that cat.
So what happens now? He leads us to the house.
You asking the DM that?
Yes.
He's stepping aside. Just he eventually just says, "Follow me," and he ends up leading you all inside.
I follow.
Pretty much taking you all into this vast inner room where it seems to be kind of like this pretty large foyer, and up against just kind of like standing there, pretty much like almost expecting you. You end up seeing this man. He looks pretty elderly in his overall like face and posture. He's lean and stoop-shouldered, with a bit of a gray stubble developing along his chin. You can see what seems to be pretty well darkened eyes, kind of like sagging eyelids as well. Just as he ends up kind of like nodding to each of you in turn. He's like, "Welcome, welcome. I see you're.
Hello.
I see that my butler let you in. I when what is the reason for you all being here?" And the butler quickly explains that you are looking for Randolph Carter. He's like, "Ah, I see someone who has similar goals to myself. Well, you need not worry. I know for a fact that Mr. Carter is already alive."
How do you know this?
Everyone else believes him dead.
"Well, I'm a mystic. I know such things."
Is there directions to your mystic powder room?
What?
Well, I would, if you are looking for the restroom, it is just down that way, down the hall
Okay,
into the right.
I shall find my own way. I have great German blood. I know where things are. I walk down the hallway.
He nods, looking rather suspiciously at you as you do so. He's like, "Now, as for the rest of you, I can safely reassure you that Mr. Carter is alive. How exactly, I wish not to disclose, but it is reason enough for me to keep company until he comes back. I know for a fact he shall return rather soon."
Have you seen or spoken with him lately then?
In a sense, I have, as we mystics are wont to do.
Some form of telepathy?
Are you asking that?
Yes.
He's like, more or less. You could say so.
Well, if he truly is alive, that can change many other things. And it's good to hear that he's alive. We were hoping to. That's beyond good news. We figured there's no way he was still with us. If he is, that's fantastic. But folks need to be. It needs to be known to folks that he's alive, and we kind of need a proof of life to prove it.
Tell me, what is the real reason you ended up coming here? Was it because of that Mr. Wilkins fellow? I want you to answer me honestly.
Yes.
Really?
Frankly, he hired us to persuade you to leave, but when we started digging, we became more interested in what happened to Mr. Carter.
Give me a persuasion roll with advantage. So roll it twice and take the better roll.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Do I need to bother with a second?
No, I think it's good. He ends up looking at you. A hint of a smile develops. He's like, very well then. If you so wish, you may stay here. If you want to learn more about what I know of Randolph Carter, I urge you from not exploring too much, but I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend after all, and Dr. Wilkins is nothing but trouble. Trust me, Mr. Carter is a beloved friend, most astute. He's, I believe once he returns, you will find him to be just as amiable as the nicest person you've ever met in your life.
And is Mr. Wilkins a relative of Mr. Carter?
Yes, he is a distant cousin. We had an unfortunate encounter with another distant cousin nearly a year ago.
Mr. Wall?
Yes, Mr. Aspinwall. It unfortunately didn't end so well.
What did happen to him? We hear he died of heart failure, but it was in Louisiana, but could be connected to whatever's going on here.
Yes, well, the papers do spread odd rumors.
That they do. I've seen that many times.
He doesn't say any more, just remains silent.
And you said we're free to stay here?
Yes, you may stay as long as you like. Get a feel for the countryside. I'm sure after the suffocating atmosphere of Arkham, you will You will find that the Mount Elm region is quite freeing.
Well, we certainly appreciate the offer, especially in our investigation of trying to find or locate Mr. Carter and figure out exactly what happened.
When do you expect him to be back?
Are we gonna go to Billy Bob or are we gonna go to me next? I'm curious.
Where is Eve right now?
Eve is went past the powder room and is looking for a uniform, a butler's uniform.
Right. We'll probably go to Rick Nikita, and then we'll go to Eve. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Nah, you can go ahead and have him do.
You
Oh,
sure?
okay.
All right.
I am investigating and looking. I have parts of what I need for a disguise, but I need a uniform.
All right. So let's see. I'm trying to remember where the conversation left off. Darn, I'm losing my train of thought. So he pretty much looks at you and he's like, "Yes, you may stay as long as you like. You may look around the manor as well. Perhaps get a bit of a feel for some of Carter's notes. He was quite a scrupulous man before his disappearance. But trust me, in time, perhaps a few weeks, perhaps a little later, I assure you he will return."
Yep. And I'm sneaking around right now trying to find a uniform I can use.
All right. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden check. What type of uniform are you trying to develop?
Something that may allow me to travel the property less suspiciously.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a spot hidden roll.
Son of a bitch.
Looking around the hallways and the few rooms that you kind of like duck your head into, it just seems to be kind of like small storage rooms, bedrooms, even a bit of an expansive library. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot there. A lot of it's just kind of like decorative furniture and the like.
I am whispering as I travel through with my crucifix. Die Kraft Christi sing wische ut. It means the power of Christ compels you in German.
Your voice sounds pretty quiet in this place. It's strangely unsettling.
Die Kraft Christi zwingt ut.
Still quiet.
Thou foul spirit, if you exist, confront me now rather than leave me anxious, in the name of our Lord.
Give me a listen roll.
Oh, hold on. I hope I didn't fuck that one up. Oh no, listen's good. Oh.
All right. Right as you end up finishing the last sentence, you hear ever so slightly the sound of scampering at the end of the hall.
I tried to sneak in that direction, cautiously.
It fades just as quickly. You hear nothing more. But you think you can determine the sound. You think it went off to the left.
Should I tell the others or try to sneak after it? I think
do
I'll
you
try
do?
to sneak after it.
Okay.
So
All
is
right.
that a stealth check, or am I still following?
Still just following for the moment. So you end up going around the left side. You see that upon turning left, it's a set of stairs going down into darkness.
Die Kraft Christi's thing each.
Still quiet.
The power of Christ compels them. I must go. Compels me too. I must go. I start walking down the stairs quietly.
Okay. You're starting to walk down the stairs. You eventually find that wherever you are now, it's probably a cellar of some sort, as the stonework itself begins to get a little rougher hewn. And you're certain that this place isn't very well kept up. You feel like the walls itself are just like unstable earth right around here.
Die Kraft Christi's thing each.
It is pitch black, and you can't see more than 10 feet out in front of you. And you're not even sure where the walls are.
I put my hand on a wall on one side and try to follow it.
Okay.
The Lord is my light and my shepherd.
Give me a spot hidden roll.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Give me a listen roll.
Fuck.
Yeah, you're just stumbling along in the dark.
The crafty Christ is in huge.
Give me a stealth roll.
Oh shit. Okay. Let's see. Lord, obey me now. Oh god. I'm very quietly whispering this stuff to myself.
Okay. Yeah, you're still just going along rather quietly. Until you eventually end up softly, but still enough to jolt you, bumping your head against a wall.
Ouch! Ouch!
You do notice at your feet, however, rather peculiar, it seems to be a large hole tunneling into the side of the wall. And you don't
I
know
use
how...
a lighter from my cigarette to try to get a better look.
Are you lighting up a lighter?
Yes, ma'am. Sir, whatever. Fuck you.
All right. So as you're doing that, give me another spot hidden roll.
Ooh.
Extreme success. Okay. So first off, as this happens, you notice that the lighter itself, upon striking it, it illuminates what seems to be a noticeable seam in the wall to your right. Because one thing you didn't notice is that the wall you bumped into was actually stone. And there is a very noticeable seam. The second thing you notice is that there is a subtle glimmer of something coming, just like glimmering ever so distantly from down that tunnel. You're not sure what.
Can I see if it's water?
It's a bit too hard to figure out from here. It does seem to be slowly getting closer, though.
I go over to the wall and feel for the seam. Try to find some sort of way to open it.
Okay. It doesn't take long before you feel a little latch, which you feel like you can pull.
I pull the latch.
And it takes a bit of force, but it seems to be opening into like this small little earthen chamber. And there in front of you seem to be... It looks like a small little chamber with a bunch of like arcane symbols scribbled all around the place. Papers and papers strewn about the place, and then the middle is kind of like what seems to be an arcane circle, just kind of like chalked out. And in the middle of it, there seem to be different kind of like weird sort of like seem to be components, along with a black-looking book in the middle of it.
Can I grab the book?
Yes. You also find what seems to be a slip of paper next
what
to
does it
as well.
say?
So I will show you both of them.
Oh dear.
Let me see. So this is what you find on the slip of paper. Let's see. Hold up. Yeah. You see this.
7th of April, 1932. I am not the same. Perhaps it is with some comfort that I return to this diary. Trapped in this body which isn't mine. I have seen it all. I have spoke with the most ancient one, that unutterable being known, Amir Atul. Passed through the first and final gateways, and arrived at the rose-tinctured shores which lie beyond the furthest reality. Furthermore, I spoke with the nameless JJ. Sorry, this cursive is fucking me up. Yog Sothoth. I learned the truth, reality, time, consciousness, all of it an illusion. Now I am trapped, imprisoned inside this cousin from another planet beyond the stars. I am Zalth of Yauduth. No, I am Randolph Carter. I must find my human body. Chicka chicka.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you? Let's see. Do you want to? There is also the black book in front of you. There is not. I don't have a handout for this, but you can open it if you so wish.
I would rather just take it with me.
Okay. Make me
I
a listen
peek around
roll.
the corner to make sure the coast is clear before trying to make my way for the exit.
Make me a listen roll.
1 second. Fuck.
You don't hear anything.
Can I spot hidden?
No.
Fuck. The Lord is my shepherd. I take a step into the alleyway.
Okay. Immediately as you do so, you look to your left with the... I'm guessing you still have the match lit.
As I can't see, it seems the only way.
You look in front of you. The way seems clear. You look to your right. You see 2 yellow beads. What seem to be 5 feet away from you. No, they are eyes. You realize rather quickly that the body it's attached to looks vaguely canine in figure, with elongated limbs and a rather cackling, malicious-looking face. Though, more than that, it is hard to even describe. Make me a sanity roll.
Okay, 1 second. S. Sanity. Is that main? Yeah. Hard success.
Hard success? Okay. Let me check.
I crafted Christie's in each.
Yeah, you don't lose any sanity, but it is coming closer, and it is right next to you too. You can hear a low growling. What do you do?
I throw my large Mormon Bible at it and try to run.
Okay, is that what you do?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and give me. We'll say this is. We'll count it as a. Try and make a throwing roll if there is something like that.
I don't see one.
Go ahead and just say it's like a brawl or something like that as you're running.
Okay.
Ooh, a success. Okay.
I nail him with a 30-pound, leather-bound, gilded Mormon Bible.
You just toss your Bible straight in its direction, hitting it straight on the head, but before you can look anymore, you just hear the sound of tittering and cackling as you're, like, running up the stairs.
I crafted Christie's thing, ooch!
Yeah, the sounds seem to echo behind you. You hear the sound of, like, what almost sounds like breathing or something, like, right on your shoulders as you're just kind of, like, running along.
I crafted Christie's thing, ooch!
And before you know it, you're back out at the top of the staircase again. What are you doing?
Slamming the door and giving a German blessing. I don't know.
There is no door.
Fuck. I go into the light. How about that?
You can run back to where everybody else is.
That's my plan.
All right.
I start screaming.
Give me an intelligence roll while you're at it.
I'm fucked. Hold on.
It's one of your stats.
Oh, it's one of the stats, yeah.
Do we hear
actually, I'm pretty intelligent, and never mind.
You hear the scream.
No!
All right. If I hear the scream, I'm jumping up and running after it.
Okay. I have no idea where you guys are, but I'm screaming in German.
So
that usually gets people's attention.
You end up running back into the same room where the butler, Ward Phillips, Dexter, and Wolfgang all are. The thing is,
I crafted Christie's Enguch!
What you don't realize is you're holding the large black book you found right in both of your hands to where everyone can see.
He is of the Black Church, Black Sabbath, if you will.
Ward just gives you a very kind of like, he looks at you very stolidly, takes a slow step forward. He's like, where did you find that?
In the powder room.
I see you have been rather inquisitive.
That's his
It's a
crossword.
it's a very extensive powder room.
He holds out his hand. If you would please.
I do not know. I'd rather. There was something in it I wanted to show my companion, the short, fat American, Dexter.
Give me a hard persuasion roll.
Fuck. Did I craft a Christie Zingooch? Yes!
I look at Dexter and ask, how did you convince him that? How did you convince her that you're fat?
I'm never convinced.
He is solid American and much shorter than myself. That is what I am basing it on. Plus, my shoulders are much broader.
You can see the butler starting to step forward, but Ward just kind of like holds his hand back and just gives a nod in his direction.
I lift up the crucifix and whisper, "Thy craft to Christie Zingooch."
Ward just looks at you like squarely. He's like, you have nothing to fear here. If you want to study the book, be my guest. You may stay the night if you so wish. However long as you want, you may study the book as you like.
And make sure that you guys clean up after any pests. That is all. Come with me, short fat American, as well as you, Wolfgang. As we have much to discuss.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it may be best to regroup.
What the fuck? All right, let's check in with Billy.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut to Billy real quick. Billy, what is Rick Nikeda doing? What is it? Continue. All right.
He's cooking Pillsbury Baldos.
Yeah, he is. He's going through his local Baldo supply.
He's seeing if he has enough to sell to a town of this size, or if he needs to make more.
He's having lucid nightmares of doing his wife with a Baldo. It's a rather harrowing thought. All right.
So are we going to our rooms? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Ward eventually just kind of like, he looks again to the butler and he goes, if you would, you may show them to their rooms. The butler comes along. He's like, please follow me.
Yes, thank you, Penguin Man.
I will take you on the grand tour as we go about the manor.
I've seen quite a bit of this place in my exploration of your powder room.
Yes, quite. I see you have explored diligently. He looks to you and the book before facing forward again.
I whisper over to Wolfgang. I haven't even opened it. I don't know. There's something very foul going on here. If it weren't for my Lord Jesus Christ and my belief in Joseph Smith, I would have been doomed.
Did you see something too?
Yes, there was a foul creature. A devil.
What kind of creature?
Something kind of equivalent to a Frenchman. It's hard to say. Very foul breath, yellow eyes. Very aggressive. Had paws of some kind, although I barely can describe it. Just like a Frenchman.
As you say
I
this,
I found it in a secret stair.
As you say this, the butler ends up stopping nearby one of the doors you actually checked. Ends up leading on through. He's like, "This, as you can tell, is our local library. All that you could wish for in terms of literature and the history of Arkham, all within these shelves."
And no uniforms though. What? Nothing.
He's like, if we are content, we may continue the tour. He ends up leading you across to another area. This is our dining hall. As you can see, we keep it up to the highest degree of quality. And
Where
as
do you
can
keep
tell,
where do you keep food for your canines? I'm curious.
Well, we do have a local store. I'm sure I could look at something in the pantry. We might have some dog food on hand.
At this, Hank just lots up and starts wagging his tail.
How many dogs do you have in the place?
Well, we had a dog last year, but unfortunately he passed.
Oh.
Yes, it was quite the tragedy.
I was shortly speaking of my companion's lovely basset hound, and concern for the dog.
He is a good dog. And then he continues forward.
He is full of shite, Snitzer.
You saw a dog.
I'm whispering this to you, too.
Yeah. And I'm whispering back to her. You saw something that looked like a dog, didn't you?
Yes. I would describe it as a Frenchman, except it doesn't quite fit.
We're going to have to go check that out after.
It's maybe quite perilous. I had to give up my Bible.
He ends up stopping near the stairs going down. You can see that it just descends into darkness. He's like, this area is off limits. I advise you to stay away. It is where we keep some of our most private possessions, and frankly, I consider them too dear to the Carter family for even you to inspect any more closely. He looks at you particularly.
Acknowledged.
I smoke a cigarette and pretend to look at something else while saying that Craft Christie's a gooch.
Last but not least, he ends up leading you each to separate bedrooms. The rooms themselves seem to be exceedingly small, but very well kept up. Rather old smelling. And he's like, and these are your rooms.
Thank you, Penguin Man. We can handle our own affairs from here. Please inform our gracious host of our appreciation of his generosity in his lovely home.
Lunch will be served at noon on the hour. If you have any other questions, feel free to let us know. I'm sure either myself or Mr. Phillips would be more than willing to accommodate.
I would love to discuss things with you at another time. In the meantime, I have a few questions to raise to my companions. If you would give us some privacy.
He nods.
Thank you, Mr. I'm sorry, what was your name again?
My name? Let's see here. Let me check my notes. The name is Connor. Connor Baldwin, if you would.
Connor Baldwin. Thank you, Connor. Mr. Baldwin. I appreciate it.
Your mother, Sarah, sends her regards. What? Never mind.
He walks out.
You would not believe what I found.
What did you find?
I went down that secret stair on the way to the powder room, as I said. I'm not a liar. And I was attacked by a large animal. I found this book. Luckily, Joseph Smith saved me in the form of a very large ancient Bible that I happened to carry in my purse.
Where is it?
I threw it at the dog-like creature in the darkness. I spoke Christ's name, and I was sped along on the wings of angels, and fuck, I'm here. We have to get out of here.
No, we're where we need to be.
He surely worships the devil or the occult. That should be enough to condemn the whole house, property, the town, and let them all burn in rotten hell.
Well, we already established that he's a mystic, correct?
Yes, but there's something much, much more nefarious down there than just being French.
Well, something odd is going on. I know I had that vision back whenever we visited. What's her name?
That was a vision of the Lord our God, warning us that paradise may be lost if we spend too much time in this house. I am convinced of it now.
I also saw odd creatures in very strange woods.
Did they look like dogs?
No, I don't think so. I think they were more akin to like fae or fairies.
Oh, that's very gay.
Not at
yes.
all like what I experienced down below in the darkness.
I don't think I would describe it as
That sounds
happy.
gay too.
Oh wait, also here's the note. There was a note I found with this black book in a very secret compartment hidden behind a wall of stone. I hand them the note.
All right. You all end up seeing the note, just like Miss Eve had.
It is indecipherable to me, as I do not read English.
So this was written by Carter himself,
It appears to be so.
and he is being possessed.
I do not know, but I was
Or is-
attacked by a very strange creature in the darkness. On my soul, I declare it so.
Well, it sounds like all of them are wrapped up in just very dark.
We can use this book. I am sure of it. I'm sure it contains damning evidence. We can use this book in order to secure the removal of this man from this house, if we so choose. Do
Well,
we
at
dare open it to investigate ourselves? Or do we leave it to the local police?
I say we still try and get a good beat on what's going on before we make any decisions like that. We found out a lot, but as much as we've discovered, we still don't know shit.
Wolfenstein, I was attacked by a creature you do not understand. I left behind my giant 40-pound Bible.
I still say the main goal is to find Carter, because that completely, if Carter is still alive, then they
All
wouldn't
those
be
legal issues
fighting
go
over-
to, go to rest, right?
We
Correct.
were not hired to solve the legal problems. We were hired to get rid of the rats in the house.
Well, that
Well,
would get rid of him.
We may have been hired to convince him to leave, but I think the right thing to do is find out what happened to Carter.
I can tell you with some surety.
That would be awesome.
There is something terrible in this house, and we will surely die if we stay here for very long.
Oh, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. There's 1930s, so that wouldn't be awesome. That would be swell.
That would be swell indeed if it were not so untrue.
Now, I'm not for opening that thing. And he points at the book. But you did get very good evidence with this note by Carter himself. I will commend you that. You did something good for once.
Of course, like I always do. But what should we do with this book? I fear that if I am left alone, then I will be attacked.
Well, was it after the book specifically, you think? Or...
No, I sensed a creature coming down the hallway. Me finding a groove in the stone was simple luck and nothing more.
Was this before or after you lost your Bible?
The Bible was thrown at the creature as it emerged from the darkness. It was trying to smell my skirts, I can promise you.
Also, I forgot to mention, so Eve, go ahead and increase your Cthulhu Mythos skill by 5%.
Oh shit, what's 5% of 0? There, I have, it is at 0.
With a projectile.
Just make it 5%.
Okay, very good.
I don't think that's what the verse meant when it said put on the armor of God, but hey.
Put on the armor of God and throw giant Bibles at ugly dogs.
This was your first taste of dealing with the mythos. So
thank God I have Joseph Smith and Jesus Christ.
Also
Superstar.
decrease your max sanity to 94.
My max sanity by how much?
94. This is your max sanity, not your sanity rating. You're
my max sanity, so that would be... It's at 99, so it should be at 94 now.
Yeah. There you go.
That shit.
That is from your encounter with the thing in the basement.
I shall call it the Chihuahua, the French Chihuahua from hell.
All right, but what are you all doing? What do you all plan on doing?
I'm looking for a phone.
Is...
I need to give Mary Atwood a call and check on her.
There doesn't seem to be any phones immediately available.
Well, damn. Then I'm
Is
sitting here thinking.
Rich indeed.
is any of us well versed in the occult?
Not me. I simply read the Bible and German socialist papers.
I know a little bit here and there from some of my articles, but I focus more on the cultures than their mythologies.
I didn't know if any of us would know the names that are referred to in this letter, apparently from Carter.
I am very concerned about what will happen to us if we stay here for very long. I suggest we spend the night, do our investigating, and then leave early in the morning. What do you say?
I still think it's a good idea to investigate the manor further, as well as the woods around, as much as we possibly can.
Well, we can,
It's a
but I'm
pretty
telling
big
you,
place.
there is evil in this house.
Yeah, the place gives me the heebie-jeebies too, but there's a pretty big place, and there's a lot we haven't seen yet.
You did not see the tiny lapdog from hell like me.
No, I didn't. And I hope not to.
You don't believe me?
Yeah, and even recalling that memory, Eve, it's even more unsettling because for as canine as it looked, it also looks strangely human.
There was something very creepy about it. It's the same feeling as a Frenchman about to hit on you at a bar, trust me. It's a woman thing. Jesus Christ.
I can show an image to go along with the horror if that helps you all whatsoever.
It may help me describe it, and not sound like an idiot. Though maybe nothing can help us.
It will be just 1 second. But
I don't know if I believe you actually saw it, but I don't think you're lying to us.
Yeah, Dexter does believe it.
You experienced something.
I would not throw my Bible for no reason. Or use my religious symbol. I grab my crucifix.
Eve says some really out there things, but he does believe her on this, just because he personally saw something too.
Thank you. I forgive you for being American.
Well, the fact that she came back without the Bible is that was something major, considering the character.
Right.
By Cristo, I devotion.
oh my lord.
Jesus Christ.
So good, that's the thing. It works so well. That whole voice.
Oh, dude, I love it. It works. This is a fun character.
Mein Freund.
Mein Freund.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. I'm your best friend.
I feel so delicate and vulnerable. Turns my large, wide shoulders around.
So she has very wide shoulders, and she's supposed to be a very large woman, right? Like tall.
Very tall, 6'2" to 6'3".
Okay.
You're like Samus height.
She's just a vulture.
How dare you?
All right.
Holy shit! No, why?
That was vaguely what you saw in the cellar.
I should have failed my sanity check.
You should have taken that dude to get some medical attention because something ain't right. He's got a condition.
He's just
I'm
hungry.
telling you, what I saw was not human, but it was not full. A dog is what it reminded me of, but it could not have been an animal. Jesus Christ.
I don't think that was Jesus Christ.
I don't think it was Jesus, obviously. It was something maybe that more like went after Judas. It was a demon. Its eyes, they knew something about me, but they also had an animal instinct that I could not quite properly elaborate on.
All right. Do we want to go ahead and
So
end off
these are the kind of guys you date.
Do we want to go ahead and end off tonight's game on that note? Figure that's a good place for us to end things.
Yep, I think that's the spot.
Old fart on the East Coast is looking at the clock and seeing after midnight.
Yeah. I I can feel things slowing down anyway. So I'll leave it on this note. Are you all
Also,
planning?
Herman says it was not a dog, but it was a dog, but not an animal, like Lady Gaga.
So are you all
Bro.
planning on skulking about in the night, or do you all plan on going to bed and getting
I
rest?
am sticking next to Wolfgang because he is very tall, and I might be able to run faster.
What is the plan before I end this session?
I think Dexter is just going to try to get some sleep because he's already struggled last night.
Wolfgang, do you want to investigate, or do we want to go to bed?
We should probably call it a night. It's been a long trip.
I will allow you to sleep on the bench at the end of my bed if you wish.
I was going to sleep in my room.
Nope, you are not.
All right, and with that, we'll end it. So you, after a day of kind of like looking around in the manor, getting a feel for the place and avoiding the dark cellar that you had investigated earlier, you'll eventually end up taking your rest for the night. And yeah, I'll say this: your dreams aren't pleasant, nor is it restful, and that's where we'll end it.
All right, and Herman can't. That's not my character's name, but damn it, that sounds a hell of a lot cooler.
Wolfgang von Scrotum.
Oh yeah.
That sounds a lot cooler than Wolfgang Sanders.
Sanders.
Now I wish I had gone with Von Scrotum.
Von Scrotum is a much more German name, much more respectable.
Oh boy. Well, thank you all for joining us for tonight's session. I think most of us had quite a bit of fun with this little investigating and shenanigans going on, particularly with Eve and Mr. Hank the Basset Hound, to say the least.
Hey,
Well, until
Cthulhu
next
doesn't
time.
know what he's got coming. He's in trouble now. He's gonna run into our group and go, "These guys are too nuts for me. They don't make any sense. Get away! You're driving me crazy."
Truly. Herman says in the chat, Herr Wolfgang von Scrotum. Yes, that's exactly what it is. All right. Without any further ado, we shall bid you all good night and sweet dreams. Squeak, squeak, and God bless, friends.
God bless.
Dream of Cthulhu, I let thunder go.